Hey guys, it's Milka. Welcome back to my channel, NutAeum. And I'm excited to be doing one of these videos, one of these readings again. It's been a while, but today we are doing a healing focus video. So for those of you who are new to the channel, this is a video, or this reading is, you know how there are other tarot readers, they do like what is coming up for you in love and career and stuff like that in the month of insert month here. But I figured I would like to pull it in a little bit more of a healing focus way. Okay, so we have 4 groups, which is the usual for my readings, I will say. And before we get, and I'm also going to explain how those readings work. Okay, so we're going to be doing an energy check in the beginning of each group so that you can see if this is your group or not. Okay, so pick the group that you feel called to, but if the energy check doesn't resonate with you, then maybe, you know, that's not your group. Even though these are also catered towards, like, I'm making this for November 2024, right? But I've had people who commented that, you know, even though they're in, we'll say July 2024, they saw a video from May 2023 that's a healing focus and it resonated for them currently, right? So there is a time frame in the title, but these are timeless readings. It's whatever you feel called to. So if you feel like you didn't have a group here, maybe try checking out one of the other healing focus videos that you feel more called to. But yes, all this to say, before we get into the full spiel, I did want to let you know, okay, in addition to, well, wow. Okay, in addition, I didn't even finish my last thought. That's how excited I am. Okay, in addition to what I was mentioning with the energy check, we're also going to be looking at what you have the opportunity to leave behind in the month of October, as well as your mental and emotional focuses and physical focus, material world focus for the month of November, and what Divine would like you to focus on healing, and then any final advice or additional messages, okay? But before we get into the full-on group selection, I just wanted to let you guys know that at the moment I am taking a tiny break. I had been, while I was absent, taking a bit of a break from this, but also while I'm coming back and I'm just readjusting, I am taking a tiny break from custom, like from personal readings, unless of course it's somebody that I have already worked with, who's already been in the rotation as a client for me. That's different. But new clients I'm taking a tiny break from. I'm going to restructure the way that I do those custom reading, or personal readings I should say, or I'm coming up with a new system. Okay, so I'm taking a tiny break from that. But yes, so I also do custom crystal bracelets that are charged with Reiki and that are infused, you know, with light language and all of this stuff, and they're made custom to what it is that you're trying to manifest or attract into your life. And I also offer custom affirmation songs, and I do post affirmation songs on YouTube as well as other channeled songs. So this is a clip from my latest affirmation song. I surrender to your love. I surrender to your light. I surrender to your heart that beats as one with mine. And so if you guys enjoyed that, I would appreciate if you checked out the full clip on my other channel. I'm going to link it in the description box below. I have 2 other channels as well, really quickly. Milcah38, which is the one that has the music and some of my older pick-a-card readings. And then I also have a slightly newer channel called Life of a Milka. Yes, you heard that right. Life of a Milka. And that one is just going to have a bunch of different kinds of videos. So I have stationary videos in there. I have a couple of vlogs, which are a little chaotic, but that's okay. And yeah, that's a channel for me to post everything else that I want to post. So yes. Okay, now, and all of those will be in the description box below. Now let's get into the group selection. I have 4 TWSBI Eco fountain pens for you guys to choose from, as well as little swatches of the ink that are inside them. Okay, so you can choose based off of what draws you the most. So let's start with group number 1. Group number 1 is going to be this Smoke and Rose Gold TWSBI Eco. You can kind of see the purple. I don't know if you can pick it up on camera with the types of lightings that I've got going on at the moment, but you could see like the purple mist or shimmer kind of in the inside the pen. And the ink that is correlated with, I'm gonna cover the names of the inks, I think. Or actually, no, I won't. I'll leave it all open. Okay, so we've got Wearing Gold Persephone. All of them are shimmery inks, so all of them are glitter inks. You can kind of see that there. Okay, so this is group number 1. All right, group number 2 is the White and Rose Gold TWSBI Eco. Okay, and you can see some of that brown shimmer. At least I can. I don't know if it picks up for you guys. So that's the pen. And then the ink that is in this pen is the Wearing Gold Anubis. It's still drying a little, but this is also a shimmer ink, though you're not seeing, oh yeah, you can see some of the shimmer, I guess. It's like a little bit of a coppery shimmer. It's like a brownish kind of ink. Yeah, like a coppery shimmer. Okay, group number 3, you have the Jade TWSBI Eco, and this one you can definitely see the shimmer just kind of here. But yes, this is the Jade Eco TWSBI Eco. My goodness. Funnily enough, sometimes, like, I know that yes, this could definitely look quite like jade, but it also makes me think of like ectoplasm. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Okay, and then the ink in here is Vinta Ink's Kisslap Soda Light. So this, you can see the shimmer for sure. You can kind of see that shimmery action. Okay. And then group number 4 is the TWSBI Eco Tea in Mint. I see, okay. Yes, in mint. So this is it. You can also see the shimmer in this one. Okay, and then the ink that you have, it's actually a mix. I mixed 2 inks together. It's Color Versus Halo Ring and Wearing Gold Silver Shoes Glitter Potion. Okay. This blob is still drying, but you know, just doing this so you can see the shimmer. All right, you guys, these are the groups. So I'm gonna give you a moment to choose your group and I'll see you at your reading. Group 1. So this is, ooh, my little thingy. This is your group. If you chose this Smoke and Rose Gold TWSBI Eco with the Wearing Gold Persephone ink. Okay, let's do another flashy flash of that shimmer. Okay, so this is your combo. Also, I just want to say, you guys, I already finished shuffling your cards. We're going to talk about your ink selection as well. But what I find interesting is when I was shuffling your cards, even your pen, the pen that you chose is actually, that it's not black and rose gold. They call it Smoke and Rose Gold because it is translucent. Let me see if I can kind of try to show you that. Stay, please. Okay. Wow, look how obedient. Thank you, pen. 1 second. Let me pull out the flash light. You can, I don't know if you'll be able to, I don't want to blind you. Yeah, you can kind of see, you can see it here, that it's translucent. I don't know if it picks up on camera, but it's translucent. Okay. So basically we're talking about transparency here, okay? And the reason that I bring it up is because when I was shuffling your cards, most of your cards like flipped open, okay? Like I'm talking about, hold on, give me an example. I'm here like shuffling, right? I'm shuffling, and then your card flips like this. Most of them were flipping, revealing the actual card itself. And especially in the beginning, like the first, what you're currently experiencing and what you have the opportunity to leave behind, those cards are just flipping out, coming out instantly, right away, super responsive. So let me give you an idea of what the structure of this video is in case you skipped ahead in the, in case you skipped the intro, okay? So basically in these videos, we're going to be doing an energy check at the top here in the first section, what you're currently experiencing, and then what you have the opportunity to leave behind in the month of October, okay? And then we're going to be looking in the next section at what is your mental/emotional and material focuses in the month of November, and what Divine would like you to focus on healing, and any additional messages, okay? So let's get into it. Your first card is the Lovers. Oh, yes, here. Did I ring the singing bowl for you? I think I've been forgetting to do that. There you go. I'm still adjusting, you know. Okay, the Four of Cups, the High Priestess, and the Moon. Laloon. Then we have the Page of Pentacles. Can you see that? Yes, you can. The Five of Swords. The Fool. The Fool. I don't know. Every time I say the Fool, it makes me think of you fool, like you fool, but I'm not saying you because I don't want it to seem like I'm implying it to you guys. The Eight of Swords. Okay. And the rest we'll look at afterwards. So give me a moment to see what I am seeing. Okay. So what I'm picking up in this immediate energy is almost like this Lover's card to me is talking about the illusion or fantasy of something that you want for in your life. This is something that you've been wishing for, hoping for, wanting for quite some time. And you've been seeing like some kinds of things coming in, I think, but they're unsatisfactory. It's like whatever you have envisioned for yourself is so much grander or more than those little things that have been coming into your life. So I feel like the key here is discernment. It's almost like you guys are being firm and I know what I want and this is not it. Like this may look like it, this is close to it, but this is not it. I know what I want. Okay, and I may not be able to define it super clearly, but I'll know it when I see it because I know what I want. And I don't want like breadcrumbs. I don't want something that has like 3 things off of the 5 things off of my fantasy checklist of whatever it is that, you know, this Lover's card represents for you. And the Moon is almost like these 2 natures within you in a little bit of a conflict. The part of you that is the High Priestess, the part of you that is like, I know exactly what I want. And then the other part of you that used to settle, or that used to be like, well, you know, 3 out of 5 is good enough, right? So it's almost like this old habit of you going 3 out of 5 is good enough, and then your higher self coming through as the same color as the moon and your path that you're on, right? Because you guys have shifted timelines. You're on a new path here. And this path is in alignment with your highest divine self. This path is in alignment with the, pardon me, with the mission, the journey that you want to be on, the place that you want to get. This is the path to the place that you want to get, to this Lover's energy, okay? Like I said, for some of you guys, it's going to be an actual relationship or person. For some of you guys, this is going to be just the life. It's like living life in rose-colored glasses, the life of your dreams, like whatever it is that you want for your life. This is what that Lover's card represents. There's some kind of aspect of fantasy, of daydream here, like love-tinted glasses. Oh. I just realized something, you guys. You know, I'm gonna I'm so sorry for this tiny pause, but I just realized that YouTube has these things, right? Where they're like, yeah, you can't reveal certain things if you want to be monetized. And I know I have already revealed it, but I'm hoping that no one is gonna notice, you know? No one's gonna know. That's what I'm hoping for. So let me just cover the nudes. the naked lovers. I usually never worry about this, but I don't know. I've just been very made aware of it right now. And since that's the case, let me just... Okay. Thank you for bearing with me as I do this. I've given them Adam and Eve style clothing. Okay, now they are not naked. I really hope that that's not going to interfere with anything, but whatever. Okay, I hope the video doesn't get flagged or something for that. But anyway, yes, as I was saying, you guys are on this golden path, okay? And it is so in alignment. Like, think of the moon as this inner guidance, this knowing, and this dog is your higher self because it is the same color. But then this is like those past habits, that past version of you, that past mindset. And so, like I'm saying, there's a conflict. It's like this part of you is like, well, where is what I'm looking for? And your higher self is like, it's on this golden path. And then this other part of you is like, well, 3 out of 5 is good enough. And the higher self is like, no, it's not if you want to be at the destination of that golden path, you know? And I'm not saying that it's coming across exactly like the dialogue that I just gave an example of, but it's kind of like that. There's these two natures with your mindset that keeps coming into conflict. Okay, and then what you guys have the opportunity to, and so if that sounds like it resonates for you, then this is your group. But yes, what you have the opportunity to leave behind in the month of October. Give me one sec. Okay, it's so funny because I actually did a client reading and this was a message that came through in the client reading, and it was a message that just channeled through a couple of days ago. But okay, so like I said, you guys are in this new shift. You're already in the new shift, right? However, it feels like this old mindset is like a habit that is hard to knock. So what Divine is saying, right, is, my beautiful group 1, you can drop this mindset. I know it seems like it's something that's just going to take the time that it needs to, all of this stuff, but Divine is saying no, it's not. It's not just going to take the time that it needs. It's a choice. You get to choose. Every time you hear that mindset coming up, you change your mind and you say, actually, that's not my reality now. That's the mindset of the past, and I let it go. And then you reprogram it with the correct mindset, right? And you keep doing that because it feels like you guys are supposed to be in this beautiful new beginning with the Fool card, and your guides and your higher self are literally guiding your way, right? And you want to feel free and uninhibited, but you're still carrying this very tiny baggage from the past, which is that mindset, right? Where it turns into a little bit of a conflict with you. So you have the opportunity to fully step into your new beginning, into this next phase of your life, and to kind of start leaving behind this mindset that has kept you trapped in limbo, this mindset that has kept you trapped in this like in between these two versions, so that you can shed the second version completely and just go off you know, without the baggage, so you can just go off without feeling stuck, so you're not being like pulled back, right? I feel like this is something that's going to bleed into November though, because this is already really the end of October when this video is going up, I'm assuming. I'm not entirely sure when it's going to go up. I'm going to have a schedule again, but I just wanted to get some stuff out there. So the love letter reading, this reading, you know, and then I'm gonna start with the schedule again. So I'm not sure when this one is coming out. I think it's probably gonna go up the last week. What day is it today? Today's the 26th. Okay, yeah. Halloween is Thursday. Okay, so basically it really is the end of October is what I'm trying to say. So yes, okay. So you would need, I think this is going to bleed a little bit into November, because this is like feels kind of like a boss battle, you know, in like video games and stuff. There's like a boss battle, and it's like the boss, but it's not, you know what? It's really not the boss battle. I feel like you guys have beat the boss battle, but it's almost like you beat the boss battle, but you know how like sometimes before the boss, there's like the sub boss, right? So it's kind of like the president and the vice president, the CEO and the like somebody right under them. So it's almost like you beat the boss, but the one that like you beat right under them, it feels like you guys beat the person right before the boss. You already beat the boss, so you did all the steps. You beat the person, you beat the boss, but now it's like you had a perfect score everywhere, 3 stars out of 3. But the person right before the boss, that battle for you, you only got 2 out of 3 stars. So like, even though you already beat the boss, you can go into the next chapter. It's almost like you guys are there like, well, I want a perfect record. I want a 3 out of 3 stars. I don't like seeing just this 2 out of 3 stars, you know? And I feel like that's the thing that you guys are going to be nipping in the butt. It's like, it's going to take a moment for you to be like, okay, I don't need this other star. I can just move on to the next level. Why do we need to have this need, this OCD perfectionist need to complete the whole thing? Because the goal was never to complete 3 stars for everything, right? Say, for example, you were just really excited about the next level, because the next level was the level that had all of your favorite characters and you were excited to interact with them and all of this stuff, right? So this was just meant to be something that you play through to get to the next level. But because you've been in it for so long, you became so invested in the idea of like perfection and everything that you do. Since you've already been doing it, you're like, I'm doing it, so I may as well do it well, right? And now that you're in a place where you've actually completed it all, you're like, but it's not a perfect record. And it's like, it doesn't have to be. This level was never the goal. This level was just something you were meant to beat so you can get to the goal, so you can get to your favorite characters. Why are you going to sacrifice like another 30, 40 minutes of your life, or however long it would take you to beat that co-boss, right, to get a full 3 stars, when you could just be doing the thing that you enjoy? It's almost like a little bit like a self-punishment, right? It's like, why am I still pushing myself to do something that I don't really care about? You know what I mean? It's, or like you're reading a book, and then you buy a book that you're reading a book because you're like, okay, I just, you know, want to start reading again, so I'm reading this book. You're literally almost done with the book, but while you're reading this book, you bought a book that you really are excited about, that you love. Like, it's like the sequel to your favorite book, and you've been waiting for it to come out, right? And you started reading this current book that you're like, it's whatever, maybe as a way to pass the time. And now the sequel has finally come out. But you've still got like 25% of the book left that you're currently reading that you're not so interested in. So instead of just reading the book that you've wanted to read, that you have been waiting to read, the whole reason you purchased this book that you're not as interested in is just so that you can pass the time, okay? Now that you finally have your hands on the book that you've been waiting for, that you want, it's like, instead of just starting to read it, you're thinking, well, I have to finish this book. But like divine is saying, but why? Why do you have to finish it? You know, why do you have to finish it? Why is there such a need to finish it when we're giving you the book that you wanted? This is what you were waiting for. So why do you need to have a completely crisp, clean, very neat thing before you're able to step into that next chapter, before you're able to start that next book? You know, maybe that worked before, but that's not what you guys need anymore. Everything else was just kind of like a stepping stool to get you to the place that you actually want to be. So now that you're really there, wow, your reading is a different structure than what these readings are normally like. But that's okay. It's coming through how it needs to come through. But yeah, basically, you're already at the place that you guys want. This is your life. This is the life that you're living. You're not getting the second life where all of those dreams come true, where you're shifting into that second life. It's in this life that it happens. So why do you have to kind of give yourself a pause or wait or hold yourself back to complete something because that's the structured way of doing things? You're not really going to feel like there's going to be that temporary moment or sense of accomplishment, but wouldn't it just feel so much better to follow your joy, to follow your excitement, and just do the thing that you actually want to do now that it's been cleared for you? Right? That's kind of what it's showing here. That's what you guys are going to be leaving behind. What you're working on leaving behind, it feels like, is yeah, it's almost like if we're using the game again as an example, and you were playing the game because you are now driven to unlock a certain character so that you can get to a certain section of the game or whatever. Okay, you're looking to unlock the king, or you're looking to unlock the Queen of Wands. Okay, and the character, the game only allows you to start out as a page, like a bard, the most basic character. Okay, not basic, but you know, the lower level. So you've gone through 75% of the game as the page, but at that 75% mark, you get a wild card that unlocks the Queen of Wands that you were looking for. Right? But there's only 2 levels left, or something, I don't know, something along those lines. It's almost like you have unlocked the Queen of Wands, the character you've been waiting for, but you're like, well, I played the page, I've leveled up the page so much, like, I may as well at least start the Queen of Wands with this new chapter, this next level group. But it's like, yeah, but you only did so much for the page because you wanted the Queen of Wands. It's like, now that you got the thing that you're wanting, now that the thing that you want is right here, it's so close, it's so tangible, it's like you guys are out of habit, like, well, I'm already used to the controls of the Page of Pentacles. I've leveled up the Page of Pentacles. I've got the Page of Pentacles, all this new armor and skill set and all of this kind of stuff, you know, so like, I can wait a little longer on the Queen of Wands, but it's like, no, don't wait. This is the thing you were waiting for. But I think it's like a comfort zone, right? It's the comfort zone that has been acquired by doing what you had to do in order to get to this place. So now that the act of what you had to do is your comfort zone, and it's a little hard to shake it. But you don't need to carry that with you. You don't need to finish everything perfectly, tie loose ends perfectly into a perfect bow. You had to do that before, but now that you got your thing, you don't have to have a perfect bow. Creating the perfect bow is just kind of like taking up a little too much time that doesn't need to be taken up, you know? Okay, let's get into the next section of your reading. I feel like a lot of the next section is possibly come through here, but give me 1 second. Let me, this was funny. I mean, I'm gonna zoom in so that you guys can see how funny this looks, because it's so tiny, it's like a perfect fit. Okay, all right. I'm gonna put these guys here in case I need to censor anything else. Okay. All right, so next we're looking at your emotional and mental focuses for November, as well as your material world focus for November, and then what divine would like you to focus on healing, as well as additional messages. Okay, so we have, oh, you know what's so funny? I was just using like video games and like stuff like that as examples, and I haven't used this deck that I can think of since I purchased it. Not really, but this is the Dungeons and Dragons tarot, so that kind of is on theme with everything we were just talking about in the examples. Okay, we have Justice, the Five of Wisdom, which is the Five of Cups, the Seven of Strength, which is the Seven of Wands. Then we have the Fool again, as well as the Ace of Swords and the Three of Pentacles. Fascinating. Okay, and then for the bottom we have the Devil. We have the Knight of Wands, the Five of Wands, a lot of conflicty cards, the Five of Cups. Yeah, a lot of fives, a lot of fives. Five is the number of change, of transition, so that's not a bad thing. Okay, the Queen of Coins. Yes. Oh my gosh, what were we talking about? What were we talking about? I know that I said the Queen of Wands, okay, but if we were talking about like you had to pick the suit, okay, so if you wanted to have the Queen of Wands, you would have to have picked the Page of Wands and then level up to the Queen of Wands, right? Or whatever, unlock the Queen of Wands. But you guys had the Page of Wands as the example. I mean, the Page of Pentacles is the example. And so on the bottom, you have the Queen of Pentacles. So you guys, this is actually exactly what I was talking about. Wow, that works out. Okay. And remember how I said in the beginning, everything was popping out? Well, with these cards, that was a different story. So these were not flipping open, but I was able to pull out, like it was just clear what these are meant to be. Your physical focus, oh my gosh. I was shuffling so much and nothing was coming out. I was like, come on guys. And then everything came out all at once. Same thing with this. This was a little clearer though. So, okay, give me 1 second. Oh, also, I wanted to talk about the ink that you chose really quickly. Persephone, Waringal is a really cool company because most of their inks are based off of literature. So whether it's literature and mythology, I will say. So it's actually based off of books and poems, authors, characters in books, and also characters from mythology. So this one is Persephone. Persephone is the goddess of spring who became the wife of Hades, the god of the underworld. And she became a symbol of transformation, I should say, because she starts out as this pure, innocent maiden, and she goes through this traumatic stuff, and she ends up becoming this this queen of the underworld now. So this goddess of spring with purity and all of this stuff becomes the queen of the underworld, the master of, like, the queen of the realm of the dead, you know? So there's this huge transformation that happens where she comes from this pure, innocent maiden to being through life and now becoming this queen with so much power. Okay, and funnily enough, that kind of works with the whole page and queen. So it's funny that I was even saying queen, right? Because it's kind of, it all works. This is genderless. It's just, this is the examples that are coming through. So even here, it's like Persephone had to go, like she is one of the core components for the Greek myth of how the seasons were made. Okay, so she had to go through this, whatever trauma it was, she had to go through this in order to be able to emerge as the queen, to emerge as empowered. And you guys were going through that too. You guys have been going through that transition. you were in the transition for a long time. It's like you started out the maiden, and then you were in the transition to becoming the queen. But now it's like God, divine source, is saying you are the queen. You are the queen now. You've done it. You have done it. Okay, you done did it. You're the queen. You have been the queen for the past couple of weeks now, you know? Yeah, literally, you've been the queen for the past couple of weeks now. Maybe the last month and a half, could be 2. Month and a half to week, yeah, a few weeks, month to month and a half, okay? So you've been the queen for this time now. But you still think that you're in this in between. So it's exactly what we were just talking about in the last section. But yes, that's what the ink represents. So it's interesting. You guys chose this ink that is very correlated to what your journey is currently kind of experiencing. Five of Wands. Oh no, 5 of Cups. And 7 of Wands. Okay, so with the mental and emotional focus, it feels like what you guys are doing is letting go. So in November, you guys are focusing on creating the balance. You guys are good at doing the work, okay? That's why you're still there, like, but I need to finish the work. And it's like, the work is done. Okay, you can put down the sword. The work is done. So it feels like in November, that's what you're working on. You're working on creating that balance. You're working on actually putting down the sword and going, okay, I'm going to work on embracing the fact that I'm now the queen or king, you know, apply as is. I'm going to embrace the fact that I'm now this thing that I've been going for. I'm giving myself a second to kind of sit down and really come into that realization. And it also feels like there is a little bit of conflict where where you guys are kind of fighting for staying in this belief system, for staying in this like mindset shift. It's like for example, what I was telling you, right? Like, okay, in the beginning I was saying, you tell yourself, nope, that's the old me. I'm letting that go now. This is my new thought process. This is how I operate now. This new version of me, okay? And it feels like you guys are going to be doing that. Like I said, you're good at doing the work. So I can see that. I can see those thoughts from the past coming up and you guys going, that ain't happening. That's not going to happen anymore. That is the past. This is not who I am. This is who I am, okay? And you're shifting your thoughts. You're changing it to what you would like to have been thinking. Yeah, so it feels like there needs to be this like moment of quiet where you see that in the Justice card, but the 5 of Cups is giving that too, this moment of quiet. Because this 5 of Cups, 5 of Wisdom, but it's the 5 of Cups, keeps making me think like it's the 5 of Cups, but I'm also seeing the 5 of Wands. So it's funny that you actually have the 5 of Cups come up again and the 5 of Wands. Because when I first saw this card, I thought it was the 5 of Wands for a second, and then I remembered, no, Wisdom is Cups. So these two energies are very much present here, which is a little ironic because fire and water are opposites, right? So again, it's that conflict. So it almost feels like mentally and emotionally, you guys are working on getting that balance, and you're working on almost like aggressively defending your new beginning and like putting an end to the past, okay? But to that past habit of thinking a certain way. With this 5 of Wands, it's like, oh, you see? I keep calling it 5 of Wands. With this 5 of Wisdom, the 5 of Cups, it's like you guys are, yeah. So it's almost like this inner conflict that I was seeing with one of the other cards. I don't remember which one it was. Oh yeah, with the moon. This is still kind of persisting a little bit. Remember I said this is something that's going to take, it's probably going to bleed into November, and I'm seeing that. I'm seeing it coming into November, but you guys are getting very much better at shifting that, okay? You guys are doing good at shifting it. It's, yeah. Give me 1 second. Yeah, it just feels a little aggressive, I will say. It feels a little aggressive. It's like you see this thing from the past is trying to come up and grab the basket, and this little guy is like has a sword and is like stabbing it or going to stab it. Like, no, you're not coming back. Get away. You're not coming back. You're not touching my basket. I'm going to take flight. I'm going to soar. So kind of like that. Yeah. Normally, whenever I would see this kind of an energy where it really is almost like being a little too harsh, a little too like, no, like it's very, very stern, okay, that's coming through. Sorry, bracelet. I hit my bracelet on the table. But yes, it's very stern, okay, this kind of, it's like you're talking to like a dog or something that you're trying to discipline, okay? I'm not calling a dog a thing. I'm just saying, like, I shifted from dog to something in general. Like anything that you're trying to discipline and it's like very unruly and wild. And it's like you bring out this stern voice, this stern parent voice, like, no, no, no. That's what this card is giving. And normally I would say, well, you know, be gentle. But I kind of feel like in this case scenario, you guys are not in the wrong for doing it that way. It feels like you need to be shaken. It needs to be shaken up a little bit to kind of be shaken off of you. So yeah, that's okay. Normally I say the gentle approach is the best, but I kind of feel like what you guys are doing, it's good. Okay. When you're kind of assertively saying, that's it, I'm done. I'm completing this chapter. It's done. I'm not going to work on finishing that other 25%. I'm just jumping to the next thing because I deserve it. I'm completing it by jumping to the next thing, not by actually completing it for a perfectionist reason, okay? And then these cards. So this is the material world focus. I feel like you guys are already going to start seeing that energetic shift. You guys have already kind of started seeing it, this shift for your new reality, okay? And you're going to continue to see that, even though there's like this internal kind of thing going on the outside, you're going to see like people are talking to you differently. People are looking at you differently. Your energy has been heightened. Your energy has been raised. Okay. And I feel like there could be times when you get a little bit in your head about it. But again, that is part of the old thing that you're shifting. Okay. When you get into your head about it, it's kind of like, why are people looking at me? Even though you knew going in that people are going to look at you. You're going to have attention the moment you shift your vibration and raise your vibration and go into this new beginning and all this stuff where you're living expressively as yourself. People are going to be looking at you because you're high frequency, high vibration, right? So I think on some level, people are going to look at you and you're going to have thoughts in between, like, why are people looking at me? And then you're going to remind yourself, oh yeah, people are looking at me because I'm great, I'm wonderful, or whatever else, right? They don't want to reveal too much about your material world focus, you guys. I'm going to be honest with you. I think that was the reason why it took so long to try to get, it was like, really, I was like, come on, give me something, right? Like that was my gesture for shuffling the cards. But yeah, I feel like they don't want to reveal too much about your material world, because I think they don't want you to get set on something, because you're in a very fluid time. You're in a very fluid time right now. So it's going to be based solely off of how much you're willing to let go and continue to step into this new beginning. And that's going to be the outcome. You're going to, so there's no set outcome here. It feels like for the material world, apart from what I just mentioned with like embracing the new beginning or working on completely embracing it. And then also people giving you guys looks and attention. A lot of people complimenting you, I feel like, coming through as well. And I feel like, again, discernment. So you guys are going to be better at kind of like looking at people and seeing, oh, we resonate, we don't. Okay. But it's not going to stop you from having that conversation. It's just like a mental note that you're making for yourself. And with career, they just want you guys to take a leap of faith, whatever that means to you, whether it's career or some kind of physical thing that you've been trying to attain. Okay, there's like this aspect of a leap of faith coming in, and it's like you're not getting in over your head. You can handle it. Just go. Yeah. And then they're not going to give too much more than that. Okay, now let's take a look at what Divine would like you to focus on healing. So interestingly enough, it actually starts with the Devil card. And look at this. Look at this. This is, again, talking about that duality. Look how well it goes. It's like the past is changed to the future, not just with a handcuff, but it's like sticky cords. You know what I mean? So it's like you're going into this lighter new beginning. This, like, you've ascended to the 5D, but then this 3D version is kind of like, but I'm chained to you, and I have the sticky thingies coming with you too, you know? And all you have to do is be like, oh, wait, I'm a 5D being now. I'm just going to energetically shift myself out from that, you know? Like, I don't even need to remove the handcuff. You don't need, I think part of you would be like, oh, I need to find, like, the steps are like, I need to find the keys to this handcuff. I need to, you know, take a scraper, scrape off this tar gum like thing that's stuck there, say goodbye properly and end that chapter. And then the universe and God, like source, is like, no, you don't. You don't have to scrape off everything. You don't have to find the key for the handcuffs. You don't have to unlock both sides where you're like, I unlock the past and let it go, and I unlock myself and move forward. It's really simple. All you have to do is remember, oh, wait a second. I've shifted into this new reality. I'm in the 5D now. I'm applying 3D rules to the 5D. I'm applying past rules, the past oh, that's exactly what I was saying earlier. Yeah, I'm applying the past methods to my current situation, and those past methods don't work for my current situation. Okay? I'm a different being. I'm already an energy being thinking that I'm a physical being now. I've become an energetic being that thinks it's physical. All I have to do is become, you know, just remember I'm energetic, and all of this is not, it's like kind of like you just go through it. Like it, you know, you don't have to unlock the handcuffs. I keep wanting to call it a keychain, but handcuffs. You just literally shift phase through it, right? Kind of like that lady. Was it a lady? I think so. From X-Men. I think it's a lady. I haven't watched, I don't know. It's like somebody that can walk through walls. Okay. It's like that. It's like, you're like, oh yeah, I can change my matter into something that can walk through things. So like this is the illusion. It's not actually there. So it feels like that. Like it's just something that's going to click with you guys, where you realize, oh, I keep trying to go about this situation the way that I did in the past, but I just need to kind of go for it and not try to apply past techniques and methods, because those are done. That's it. That was that chapter. You guys just have to kind of remember, oh, wait a second, but I'm abundant now, and like go, you know, or whatever it is that applies to you. Yeah, actually, the Knight of Wands. Exactly. Just go. You know, there's like almost like smoke at how quickly he's I mean, I don't know if that's no, those are bushes, but in the moment it looks like smoke, you know, like this person is going so quickly that there's smoke flying behind them. Okay. Behind their head, but you know, whatever. Actually, it's symbolic that it's behind the head. I know these are trees, but it looks like smoke. So it's symbolic that it's behind the head, because it's like that mindset shifts, and then there is no limitation. Then you're go, 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 go. So it's like, this is what they want you to focus on healing. They want you to focus on this mindset, which is what you guys are going to be doing anyway, now that you've heard the message, and to just go, take action, go, go, go. Don't give yourself too much time to think about methods or approaches. Just go for it. Yeah. I wonder if, yeah, I literally had another reading like this earlier. That's so funny. Okay. The Five of Wands is almost like, they're kind of saying here with the Five of Wands, this makes me think of distractions. So it's like, you guys are this dog, okay? And this dog is on a journey to get to the park. And it's super excited to get to the park. It's basically at the foot of the park. But then there are these these dogs, other dogs that are barking here. And so this dog now, instead of focusing on getting to the park, it's like, oh my goodness, I'm going to bark back at these dogs to be like, what are you barking at? Or whatever. Enjoy life. What are you barking for? Go enjoy the park. But it's like, you have now become one of the barking dogs, right? You're not going to the park. You're now preaching to them what they're like, because they're all doing that. They're all doing the preaching and whatever, right? So now it's the same thing here. It's like the distractions. Just try to be mindful of where you're getting caught up in distractions on your journey to accepting this thing that we're talking about, okay? Try not to get, again, it's like getting distracted in the process, you know? And I think the distraction is a tiny bit of like resistance within you that is kind of, it's like, am I 100% ready to embrace this new beginning? And so it's coming up as distractions. But it's like anytime you see one of these distractions, you guys, all you have to do is say, distraction, and then keep walking. Like literally point at it, name it, and keep walking, you know? I think on some level that will give you the power to be like, yeah, you're not going to distract me, distraction. I caught you. Bye-bye. Sayonara. Moving on my way. Okay? Something like that. You could try that. Another thing. So then with the 5 of Cups, give me 1 second. Oh, okay. Okay, I got it. With the 5 of Cups, it almost feels like usually when you see the 5 of Cups, it's like somebody grieving over the loss of the 3 Cups, not realizing that 2 Cups are still standing. But in this card, all 5 Cups have been knocked over, okay? And people are grieving over the loss of these cups of water, not realizing that they don't need the cups anymore because they are surrounded by a waterfall. They're like, oh, this was precious water. We don't have much water. But it's like, you think you don't have much water, but you went from having only 5 cups of water to having a whole waterfall now. So again, it's kind of like zooming out. So same thing with this, seeing the distractions, it's going to help you when you zoom out, right? When you kind of pull out a little, look objectively, kind of bird's eye view at your journey and what you're currently experiencing. Also, another message that I got with that is like, you guys don't have to grieve. I think that's another thing. It's very correlated with having to complete a chapter before moving on to the next book, like finishing that old book before moving on to the next one. It feels like with the 5 of Cups, it's like that. You're like, oh, I need to properly say goodbye to my past so that I can tie it off with a nice pretty knot and let it go so that I can step into my new beginning. But again, your guides are saying, we want you to realize you don't have to properly say goodbye to your past. You have spent how many years saying goodbye to your past? You're just ready for your new beginning. We don't want you to focus anything on your past. We only want you to look forward. Only go, go, go. Like that's what I keep hearing. Just go, 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 go. Okay, so they're saying we want you to, because before you were very reflective and you needed that, and it was a great life skill and all of this stuff. Now just go. Don't think. Go. Don't look back and grieve and reminisce and honor and, you know, think, oh, it was so beautiful. I'm so grateful for this. It's wonderful to do that kind of stuff. But you guys, for you in particular, right now, it's not about doing that, right? Because you naturally do that. You do that most of the time. So now it's not about doing that. Now it's just about going, like really letting it go, like realizing that you were chained for like years and the chain has been removed and it hasn't fully registered with you. But now that you've been made aware of the chain being removed, it's like, I'm going to say goodbye to this place because you know what? It was tough, but I'm finally moving on. And the universe is like, no. You saw the chain is removed. Now run. You've been waiting for freedom for so long. That's what you've been calling for, what you've been asking. You've been calling it in. Freedom, freedom. I want freedom. Here's your freedom. Go run. Enjoy. Follow that joy. Follow that burst of energy that the freedom gives you. Get excited about your freedom. Don't get a little melancholy and say goodbye to your past. Get excited about your freedom, the future, right? And then Queen of Coins. This is, again, this is kind of correlated with what I was mentioning with the Page of Pentacles. So I just feel like this is embracing the fact that you guys are, it's like putting down the page, even though it had all of the upgrades and all these special skills, and taking on this new powerful character that you can now continue to upgrade and give special skills to. Okay. I hope that made sense, that I'm not getting too deep into the Queen of Pentacles here, because I feel like I've already talked about it. Okay. All right, now let's get it. Yeah, I feel like you guys kind of get it, I hope. But yes, let's get into your final messages. So we have number 43 with serious past, saving humanity. Okay. And then we have living in the now, 85, parallel, Cetacean dolphin. This is kind of incredible. Okay, because we have past and then it's like present. Parallel for me is kind of like being in the present. Okay, so with these two cards, and then we'll reveal these two after. So with these two cards, it feels like before, it, like even with saving humanity, it's kind of like there was this very righteous kind of mindset. You know, there's a proper way. There's a way we should do it. We should do it with peace. We should do it with love. We should do it with kindness and forgiveness. And now they're saying, okay, this is the past. You had to do it like that, and now it's engraved in you. Now this is kind of part of your nature, right? You've learned that lesson. You've already learned that lesson. You don't have to keep applying it. Now it's just about living in the now. Now it's just about being here now. Okay? Yeah. Next we have Unag with easy does it. There is no need to hurry or force things to happen. Everything is occurring in perfect timing. And then Freya with bold. Unleash your adventurous side. Take risks and be daring. Okay. With easy does it, I feel like Source and your guides are coming through. I'm saying God and Source a lot over your guides. So I really feel like you guys have truly come into a huge kind of an ascension period in your life. But yes, so I feel like it's almost like the advice here is, we know that you have just gotten this, you've just received this message, okay? Take it easy. It doesn't have to be, one second. Okay. It doesn't have to be taken so it's like every time you had to do some kind of healing in the past, you took it on as a mission. You took it on with seriousness. And it's like now the whole point is to focus on the now, on fun, on freedom. Freedom is not so serious, okay? Maybe on some level there was a form of repression that you guys were experiencing with all of the seriousness that you were handling everything with in life, okay? So now they're saying it's not about being serious, because you guys thinking it have to be serious is actually part of the old mindset that they're asking you to drop. That's part of that's the habit of the past, right? Sometimes when you tap into divine energy, it's actually not serious at all. Like I remember one time I had this dream of this just giant galactic dragon, okay? And this dragon, I remember it was just interesting because it was called like the 10,000-year dragon or something like that. And it was like a little girl, a young girl and a young boy who formed into this dragon, you know, like something out of protected, like they formed into this divine being. Kind of like, oh, you know, Steven Universe, that's a cartoon, like the diamond, like the gems, they can do fusions and become a bigger gem. So it's kind of like that, like the boy and the girl did a fusion and they became this 10,000-year dragon, and they were always this 10,000-year dragon. But anyway, the details of the dream are not the important part, okay? But the important part that I'm trying to bring up is the 10,000-year dragon, the enemies, when they saw it, they were like, oh, whoa, they just told us to bring the boy and the girl. We didn't know we'd be messing with the 10,000-year dragon. Like, we can't do that. And like the waters, like they were in the ocean, and the waters were very like chaotic and all of this stuff. Meanwhile, this dragon, you guys, is just laughing. This dragon is so powerful, it can make the whole ocean disappear and reappear, and its energy the whole time in the seriousness of what's going on is ha 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 ha. You know, it's like doing everything with laughter. But when you tap into really like divine or higher vibrational kind of source energy, sometimes you really are just greeting this like divine laughter. It's like the whole thing is kind of like a big laugh, a big I don't want to say joke, but you know, there's so much laughter and mirth there, kind of giving Santa Claus vibes a little. Not Santa Claus, but you know, there's just kind of like this mirth, you know, like ha 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 ha. I can't, whatever. That's the point. So it kind of feels like this is the new approach. They're like, before everything had to be done so seriously. Now, even here, it's like you're getting ready to do things seriously. You're like, okay, I'm seriously going to get down and beat this. But it's like that's kind of the point. You are using the mindset of the past again. It's just about running and being free. I think that's why they kept saying it's about the action, not the getting distracted with the mindset. Because when you do it with your mindset, you get distracted by trying to take it seriously, by being like, okay, I'm putting this on my plate so I can do this right, you know? But they're like, no, just go, run. It's your time to run. So it feels like that here with the easy does it. It's like they're reminding you, like, it doesn't have to be so serious. It doesn't have to be so kind of like stern, right? I'm not saying what I was saying here is irrelevant. It is relevant, but it's just they're saying it doesn't have to be this deep, okay? It's not that deep. It doesn't have to be so serious. It's just you've been made aware of it, and now you're just gonna take the action, okay? And anytime that thought comes up, be like, distraction, and then keep going. Call it out. Like, oh, that's a distraction. Oh, haha, look at you, past. That was funny. You thought you got me, but you didn't. And now you keep moving forward. Right? Like, don't focus too much on the fact that it came up. Just keep moving forward. And with bold, this is actually, I feel like this is actual advice. Take risks, be daring, unleash your adventurous side. Remember, we were saying that with the material world. It's just kind of like take that leap of faith. Just go for it. Go for it. Now, jump. You are free. Okay? All right, group one. Oh my gosh. Oh, I don't know how long your reading was, but it's definitely longer than I was hoping for it to be, but that's okay. Hopefully this was what you guys needed to hear, right? And I hope that it really helped you too. I hope that it made sense, that it helped you, and you know, good luck, you guys. You've got this. Look how far you've come. You're actually in the reality of your dreams that you've wanted to create, right? You've come into this place. I'm very proud of you. Applause group one. You've done great work. Okay, so now just let it drop off, the past, that is. Okay, but yes, that was your reading, group one. I hope you guys enjoyed. I would love to hear from you in the comments down below. You know, did it resonate? Did you get the point? Are you claiming this new reality? Are you claiming to release this past by just letting it go? Just letting it kind of fade off by pointing out your distractions? Okay. Also, if you guys did enjoy the video, I would appreciate if you gave it a thumbs up. And if you're interested in any of the other videos that I post or knowing when they come out, please feel free to subscribe the channel, as it does help out the channel. It's not a need, but it would be very nice if, you know, it would be nice towards me, but you know, do what you gotta do, baby. All right, and I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day, group one. Enjoy your exciting new life. Yeah, okay, so I'm sending you guys so much love, so much light, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, group one. Hi, group two. This is your group if you chose this beautiful white and rose gold Twisby Eco with this lovely Waringal Anubis ink. Okay, this is the copper shimmer glitter. Okay, I'm gonna set your ink and pen to the side. I just finished shuffling your cards, and you guys, I haven't seen all of them or anything like that, but I just want to say, you guys have done incredible work. You've done incredible work, okay? The last cards that came out, like the last ones that were shuffled, an extra card or something like that came out for you guys for 2 decks. And I remember literally saying, you know what? You guys have been so well behaved. You've been doing so good. You deserve this extra card. You deserve this extra thing. You deserve it. So like, you want an extra card? Go for it, because you deserve it. You've been doing so incredibly good, so well. I'm so proud of you guys. Applause for you, group 2, just off the bat. Applause for you guys. Okay, I'm gonna do a little a ring of the bell. That was a really weird way of saying it. And it's not a bell, it's a singing bowl. I've called it a ringing bowl. This is the first time I've called it a bell, I think. And my little sound effect there, the ba-doom doom, I don't know. But anyway, we're going to get into your reading. We're also going to be talking about your choice that you guys chose here at some point in the reading as well. I already shuffled the cards, as I mentioned, just briefly in case you skipped the intro of the video. We're going to be doing an energy check. The top row is going to be what you're currently experiencing, and that's going to be your energy check. And if it resonates, then it's your group. If not, then maybe try picking another group. You could have also chosen 2 groups. I feel like that for you guys. I feel like you guys chose a group and then you chose this group, and it feels like because you chose that last group, it's like you shifted something within yourself, and then you chose this group, and you're like, it's like divine is like, yes, you did the right thing. You chose to let it go and you chose this group, so you're doing great. And because of that, you get a little reward, because it's not about letting go of that group. It's about what you let go of in your life that was correlated to that group. You know what I mean? It's kind of like you guys shifted just so quickly. But anyway, yes. All right. So energy check, then what you have the opportunity to leave behind in the month of October. And And then in the second portion, okay, we're going to be taking a look at your mental and emotional focuses for the month of November, as well as your physical world, material world focuses in the month of November, and then what divine would like you to focus on healing, as well as any final additional messages. So without further ado, let's just get right into your reading, group 2. So we have, we have the world. But I'm going to give her a little coverage because her boobies. So we have the world card, okay? I know, I'm sorry for the censorship, you guys. I didn't worry about that kind of stuff before, but for some reason in this video it kind of came up, so I'm just gonna be mindful of that, okay? We have the 8 of Wands, the Queen of Cups, the seven of Pentacles, sorry. Was taking a moment to understand what I was seeing. Also, your cards, wow. The reason I was saying you guys are so behaved, you guys have been doing so good, your cards instantly, coming out instantly, okay? Like, I'm talking efficiency, just like you guys are efficiency machine. It was just coming out. I was shoveling the cards. I was like, 4 cards, 4 cards for this group, for this part, and 4 cards came out right away. I was shuffling the next deck. 4 cards came out right away. Next deck, instantly, answers instantly, like just right away. You guys are like boom, 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 knocking things down. Okay, then we have the 9 of Wands, the Knight of Wands, a lot of wands, the Strength card, yeah, a lot of fire, fire. Oh, the 8 of Wands, again, interesting, as something to leave behind. Give me a moment, you guys. Let me take a second to see what I'm seeing here, so give me a sec. I don't know if you got that, because I said give me a sec and give me a moment and give me a moment, so... did you guys get that I needed a second to kind of, I'm just joking around. I don't know why. I feel like I was going to say messing around, but I don't mean it in a mean way. That's just like, I guess the slang for it. And I normally don't say that kind of thing, right? But I kind of feel like I want to say that with you guys. Like, I'm just joking around. Okay. I'm just a joke. I feel like I want to joke with you guys. There's something in your energy, like this aspect of play, of fun, of, yeah, I just heard comedian, like you guys are funny. You guys don't take life too seriously. or you guys, it's not that you don't know how to be serious, because you definitely do. Like I said, you guys are just go, 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 boom, boom, boom. But it's like you find a way to make life interesting or fun. I don't know. There's some kind of quality about you. Yeah, you guys are fun. You guys are really fun. Okay, let's get into your thing. Like, I feel like banter. Like, I just want to banter with you guys, you know? That's the vibe you guys are giving off. Okay. Yeah, even like I want to sing, be silly, be goofy. You guys bring so much light and joy into people's lives. Like your presence, it's like you come into a room, and if everyone was so stiff and like, oh, well, you know, this is happening and this, it's like you guys come in and you shake them up and you're like, come on, let's just dance. Like, let's just go. Let's just do it. Okay. Also, I wanted to say, this pen and ink combo, I know this is Anubis, okay, but it makes me feel like you guys have a tie with ancient Egypt. There's some kind of a connection with ancient Egypt with you guys. You guys have had a couple of lifetimes there, a couple of incarnations, and there's some kind of connection there, okay? But yes, let's see. Current events in Group 2's life. I feel like you guys have planted all of these seeds, or like you guys have put in a lot of energy and like effort into something, like some kind of a project or some aspect in your life. You've put in a lot of energy and effort and goals and manifestation, and you've actually done some of the work to get it done and like create it. And now you've gotten to a point where it's like you let go and let God. Almost like you've done everything that you can do. And now is the part where you just leave it up to fate. Leave it up to faith, I mean. Leave it up to source. Leave it up to the universe to fill in the rest, right? It's kind of like you've typed up the email for an application for something. You've done your best. You've done the research. You've done everything you have to do, okay? You've created the perfect email. And you click send. And now it's like it's out of your hands. So yeah, that's kind of what it feels like. Like there's something that you guys have been working on for quite some time, whether it's calling something in or someone in. It could be someone, okay? A business partner or whatever else, okay? Like there's something here or an opportunity, something that you guys have been calling in. It could be a move for some of you guys, like you're trying to move to another country or another state or just move in general. There's motion involved. So it could be an actual physical relocation or just moving from one career to another, like there's some kind of a transition. So you guys have prepared everything. You've prepared your resume. You've done it all well. Like you have great credentials, but now you've clicked send and it's out of your hands. So it almost feels like kind of like a, whew, you know, like I think I'm done. Like I've done as much as I could, you know. Now I have this moment in between before I find out the result where I can kind of relax. Like it feels like something has just been taken off you, you know. In a way it feels good because it's like now that you know it's out of your control, you're like, okay, I can relax now. I can kind of just go and have fun or live or whatever. I feel like this group is a minority. Like, I feel like some people are going to click on this group, and then once they start watching it, they're going to be like, this group's not for me. And that the people who are meant to hear this message are going to continue to listen. Yeah, your group is unique as well because your current events and stuff, it's like they're giving me some of it, but it feels so kind of, I don't know. It doesn't just feel like current events. This kind of feels like your personality coming through. But yeah, with the Queen of Cups and the Seven of Pentacles, it's really like you guys have been giving it's like a love child, you know, a project, whether it was a project or some kind of a thing, or it's almost like you've taken this thing right before you give it to God to do the rest, and you like kiss it and you're like, go off my baby, go off my child, go go and grow and do your thing in the world. It's kind of like that. Yeah, or you're coming very close to it, but I feel like a lot of you guys have already clicked send, or you're just about to click send. And you had a lot, whatever this project is, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's very specific, okay? That's why I don't think this is a group for everyone, but whatever this project is, okay, whatever it is that you guys have been calling in or creating, you've had a lot of divine support. You guys have a very strong spiritual team. I just heard in my head, like, God is clearly with you. God is on your side. Like, you guys are, whatever it is that you guys are doing is big and bold, and you're meant to be doing it regardless of how it falls, like, regardless of if it's in technology, if it's in music, if it's in theater, if it's in publishing, you know what I mean? It doesn't matter which field or what category of life it is in. It's like, whatever it is, it needed to be completed. It needed to be put out into the world, and you guys are doing it. You're doing the work. Good job. Again, it's like, good job. You're getting so many congratulations, group 2. You've done incredible work. Okay. So if that resonated with you, this is your group. If not, you know, try another one, you guys. But let's get into what you have the opportunity to leave behind in the month of November. To be completely honest with you, it doesn't feel like you're leaving much behind. I think the thing that they're saying here is, like, you've had to kind of just persevere and keep pushing forward and just keep moving and keep going, right? And, like, do all of this. So now they're saying, like, this feels like a really quick message. They're saying, well, and even here, right, with the 9 of Wands, it's like, this person is the leader. This person has to be the one to take charge. This person is pushing through, kind of going through. This is the strength card, being strong. The 8 of Wands, this communication, there's some kind of a direction, guidance here. Now, it's like, because you kind of have done the part, it's really just, it's not that you're leaving this behind. It's kind of like they're saying, you can put it down for a sec. You know, you don't have to now actively keep pioneering. You can kind of relax for a moment. Whatever relax means. I still feel like relax is like having fun and stuff. It just feels like this doesn't, the reason this is going to be a shorter section for you guys is because this never felt like work. This is kind of who you naturally are, your personality. You kind of just go into this, yeah, you just go into this state naturally. It's like engraved in you. It's part of you. So now they're saying, okay, you've been pioneering for so long, like, you've been pioneering and you've been doing great. Now you can kind of chill, take a break, take a vacation, you know, go to a museum, go to some kind of event, like, do something for fun. Okay, that's not correlated to this passion project. That's why I'm saying, like, it didn't feel like work having to do this, because this was some kind of a passion project. This was something that you guys wanted to create, something that you wanted to get done. Okay, so yeah, and kudos to you for being in alignment with your highest calling, right? You guys just go for the thing that you are called to. So kudos to you, you know, again, applause group 2. You guys have done the good work. Okay, so let's get into the next section. Yeah, and look how generous, so generous. Oh my gosh. I don't know if I'm sorry. There's a lot of laughing in your group. So, okay, this actually this works. So there's another reading that I posted recently. And it's the love letter from your future spouse, group 5. I mean, number 5, okay? And there's a group 3. Because funnily enough, while I was shuffling this, I kept thinking I was saying group 2. And it was very clear. But part of me kept thinking something about a group 3. And I was like, but it's not. I think they could be different groups. So group 3 in that reading is what your energy kind of reminds me of. So I don't know if you guys chose, if you watched that video, for those of you who have, and you chose group 3 and you and your person are similar, or if you guys are group 3. Because like I said, there is some cross-watching. There's a lot of talk of God, and there's some cross-watching in that video, where cross-watching is basically where you watch a group that you feel is a message to you, and then if you're like, oh, well, I'm curious to see if my person has a message, like if my person were to watch this video, you know, what would they hear, and then you click on a group that you feel like would be your person's group, which talks about you, and that's cross-watching. It's like you're watching for yourself, and then you're watching for somebody else as well. Okay, so I don't know if you guys watched that video and you watched group 3, but it's funny. The reason I'm saying all of this is because, like I said, there's something, group 3 in that video made me laugh so much, you guys. So funny. But also, there was a song. So when I said, oh yeah, look, so generous, I heard in my head, so generous, he's generous. And that's from Prince Ali from Aladdin. Where it's like the song where they're talking up Aladdin, you know, Genie's like talking up Aladdin. He's like, look, he's generous, so generous, whatever. And that was actually the song, one of the songs for group 3 in that reading as well, Prince Ali. So I think it's kind of funny. Either if you feel like that group was really just talking about, I don't know whether it was you guys or your person, and you guys are that similar, like you guys have that kind of vibe at the same time together. But yeah, that was funny. Okay. But yes, also it's kind of like now you're getting to a point where you've done your part. You can kind of take a break. Oh my gosh. What? Underneath. It's the same card. Look how, again, so generous, so generous. Oh my goodness. Even the universe is so generous with you guys because you're just talking about all of that stuff correlated to that too, with you guys doing incredible work. And with the cards, right? It's like, of course, yeah, that's what just happened when I was shuffling your cards. Towards the end, I was like, yeah, you guys get to have an extra card. Don't worry about it. Go for it. Enjoy this extra card. You deserve it. Okay? You guys, you've earned it. Go for it. Like, this is a reward. Interesting. All right, now let's get into mental and emotional focuses for November. We have, pardon me, the 10 of Intelligence, which is the 10 of Swords. Okay. The Ace of Wisdom, which is the Ace of Wands. The Devil card, which peeked through and then it actually came out. Oh wow, okay, then the material world focus. This is interesting. I'll tell you why after we start getting into it. But the material world focus is the Lovers. Okay. Sunrise. What the heck? Okay, so Sunrise, this is not correlated with tarot. It's a unique card to this deck, but I gasped because 6 of Pentacles again. You guys, that's 3 times. Where is it? Where is that other one? That's this card, the one that I showed you. It's the same one. My goodness. Wow. So generous. He's generous. So generous. Okay. Okay. Yes, let's get into wow. I feel so giddy now. Thank you guys. Thank you group 2 for being here, for me getting to channel what needs to come through for you. Okay, now we're going to get into what Divine would like you to focus on healing in the month of November. So, we have the King of Wands. Oh my goodness, the King of Coins. Look at, wow. You guys are, like I said, you guys are here. There's some kind of special thing that you guys are meant to be doing here. You've got so many good cards. I mean, even, okay. Page of Swords. I can ramble for a long time. The 3 of Cups. Lovely. The 9 of Cups. Oh, and this is where you guys got an extra card actually, which is the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, this is one of the extra cards that you got, and then you got an extra card in the final thing. So we're gonna look at this other stuff after we do this. So give me a moment. Oh wait. Ace of Wisdom. That's the Ace of Cups, not the Ace of Swords. Wow. Yeah, okay. It's good that I noticed that because this is the second. So I haven't really used these cards before. I had them. I just didn't really use them like that. So the Wisdom is it's supposed to be the version, it's like wands. So remember I said earlier, oh, a lot of wands. So you guys have a lot of kind of like passion, a lot of fiery energy coming through here. But for some reason, like wisdom, sorry, I said it again, wisdom is supposed to be wands. No, it's not. Wisdom in this deck is actually cups. It's the emotions card. It's cups. It's water. But this is the second time that I'm seeing wisdom and I'm thinking fire. So I'm going to take it as kind of a both thing, since it keeps coming through like that. Yeah, so give me another second, you guys, to kind of piece it all together. Coming together. Oh my goodness, another Disney song. Oh my gosh, Once Upon a Dream was mentioned in that letter too. Okay, wow, there's some synchronicities there. Okay, 10 of intelligence. Yeah, pardon the long pause, you guys. I just kind of feel like I need an extra second with this section here. Yeah, even here, it's like, normally the 10 of Swords is a painful ending to something, but you guys are really coming through here as like this vibrant, like warrior, okay, of light, like this gallant knight kind of a vibe. Like you're just so bright even in the dark, like nothing can phase you. It's like there's some kind of a energetic internal fire that can almost give you the confidence to face anything that you need to face. I'm not saying you never get scared or feel fear and adversity or whatever. It's just, it's like you can handle so much. You guys are so strong. You can handle so much because of this inner fire. It's because you guys know yourselves. That's what it is. You guys know who you are. You know who you are. I feel like you've known it for a long time. You could be stubborn, which actually is a good thing for you. It's like a survival thing. It could be a very good in your being able to complete this thing that we were talking about in the beginning, this passion project, whatever it is, okay? Whether you're calling someone in or whatever it is, it's like coming to a completion. You've done your part, now you're waiting for the results. Like you send it out. So yeah, it feels like you were able to do all of this and live like that because, and be so passionate because you guys know who you are, okay? It's kind of innate. Fundamentally, you know who you are. And it feels like, even though you know who you are, the one thing that's opening up for you here is kind of like understanding your emotional needs. You guys were driven, like go, go, go. And you kind of knew what you wanted emotionally, but now I feel like because they're kind of saying, okay, you can take a break now. Like you can relax for the next 2 weeks or whatever, you know? You can. I don't think you guys are somebody who takes a break for long anyway before starting to, because you get excited about whatever this is, about your creative endeavors, about your work. Okay, you get excited about this. It's a passion project for you guys, which is great. So it's like you don't really care to be like, oh yeah, I'm going to take a break now from working completely, because this new creative stuff is constantly flowing to you. So whatever this break is, whether it's like 2 weeks or something, where you can just kind of unwind and not focus on work, it's almost like they're saying, take off your armor for a second. Okay, go out into town, take off your armor. For some of you guys who enjoy drinking, I guess they're like, go have a drink or something. But it's almost like they're telling you to kind of let loose and have something about pleasure. Kind of doing things that give you pleasure, okay? That's what it feels like. Like you guys are focusing on emotional, like understanding kind of what is good for you emotionally, or what you would like to have more of emotionally. And reassessing what gives you pleasure, or doing something, you know. It's kind of like, if eating a certain chocolate gives you pleasure, then eat that chocolate. Just focus on that. Like, focus on what feels good to you. But I would say within reason. So like, maybe if in the past the way you would celebrate a good time would be like going to a bar or like going out for drinks with friends, maybe you guys can reassess the way that you're going to have fun and have pleasure, because it feels like you guys are also kind of hoping to meet a specific kind of a person, okay? Which is funny because I did mention the love letter readings, right? Okay, but it does feel like you guys are looking to kind of meet someone or encounter something like that. I feel like it's like you're completing the alignment of coming into a connection with somebody or something. I'm not saying that it's happening. Like, again, this is a general reading, so I can't tell you that this is going to happen in November, but it feels close. Like, it feels like something is coming into, I don't know, there's something kind of forming. They're not going to give too much away, but it feels like where you received pleasure from before, like, see if it still applies, if this is the kind of connection you would like to have, you know? Do you want something that's long-lasting and fun? Well, is that something, a kind of dynamic that you're more likely to find at a club? Or would you find that kind of a dynamic doing something else that you enjoy that's kind of fun, or exploring some kind of thing that's fun for you, right? Are you looking for someone who's going to be like geeky and dorky, and maybe you feel like you're that way and you're like, I want someone who's also geeky and dorky and we can be geeky and dorky together? Well, you could find them in a club, but you could also find them, you know, at a board game cafe, right? Or like some game social, or some kind of a live action event, or like a Star Trek meeting, I don't know. Like, there are other kinds of things. So I think there's this kind of a advice. See what kind of feels good for you in that regard. And then what your material world focus is. I mean, you guys have gotten the Six of Pentacles so many times. Like I said, it's just rewards. It just rewards. It's like I'm seeing gifts and gifts galore for you guys coming in. Remember, like I said, it's like you guys are being rewarded. It's like, that's what I'm seeing again. I'm seeing that again. This, you guys are good at creating balance in your life. You know how to do, like, you guys are quite good at mastering life, kind of, in a way. I'm not saying that there's nowhere to grow or anything like that. Not at all. It's just, it feels like this phase, like you've got a good handle on what's good for you, how to create balance for yourself. And God is really giving you a reward. And for some of you guys, I feel like that's going to be some kind of a connection, some kind of a relationship. I feel like you guys are, like, even here, you see, it's like I'm seeing somebody who is happy to be alive, okay? And is just waking up when they want. Like, before there was some kind of structure. And again, you guys like the structure. You guys like it, whatever it is, right? But now they're saying, well, why don't you just wake up when you feel like waking up? You know, wake up with the sun or whatever, right? Maybe you would wake up at 6 a.m. every day and you enjoyed that because it gives your life structure. But for like a week, or 3 days at least, you know, for some of you, I felt like, oh, I don't know, I don't want to give up my structure. I was like, you don't have to give it up, but maybe for like 3 days, if not a week or two, okay, if you can get yourself to that, you know, whatever feels good for you. You can try to just wake up with the sun without the alarm clock, you know, and then giving yourself a good, nice rest. And you see this cat is like stretching. It's like, that was good. That was so nice. Like, there's so much joy and pleasure. Like, it feels good inside, you know. That's very beautiful. Very nice for you guys. Again, you see, again, I started applauding you. Like, good job, group 2. You guys are really winning at life. Incredible. What a gift. What a pleasure you are. But I also feel like in this moment, you guys could encounter somebody, okay? All right, group 2. So with this Devil card and the sunrise and kind of giving yourself a little break, I feel like you guys are this cat, the majority of you, okay? And your tree is complete, and you guys are ready to go out and socialize and mingle And I feel like you guys are going to kind of encounter, again, take it if it resonates. Like I said, I feel like some kind of encounter is close. So for some of you, it's going to be a person, if that's something that you're looking for. For quite a few of you, like I said, I don't think this is a group for everyone. So if you've been resonating with it so far, I feel like a group of you, the majority of you, could be getting a person, but for some of you, it could be like some kind of an opportunity or a muse or something. But I do feel like you guys are going to see somebody, okay? Somebody who is just realizing that their tree is coming into fruition and all of this stuff. Like, you're gonna look at like, they're also like, they're focusing upward, they're focusing on creating their thing, and you guys have kind of pushed the button on sending out and like letting God with your thing, okay, your creation. And you guys are gonna see this person, and before they see you, and it just kind of feels like your interest could be sparked. I'm not saying you guys are gonna move towards them or forward to completely like start some kind of a romantic connection with them, but it does feel like there is somebody who's going to kind of, I don't know, like you guys are going to encounter somebody quite beautiful. And I mean beautiful in the sense of like it's internal too. It's not just, I don't know, somebody who's going to light your fire. I feel like there's, again, passion is coming through here. And this person, it doesn't necessarily have to be romantic, but it feels like this person can kind of add to your life in a beautiful way, and you can add to theirs. I feel like you're going to help them with structure, and they can help you with something too. But what that is going to continue to be a mystery, because there needs to be some kind of mystery here, is what I'm feeling. But yes, what Divine would like you to focus on healing. Yeah, your group is unique because it's not, again, it's not following the structure that I had kind of set up normally for the healing focus readings, but that's okay. That happens sometimes. Okay. One moment. Interesting. I'm seeing it kind of like a story. I'm seeing it like a story. This is so unique. Okay. So it's like you guys are the King of Wands, the King of Coins. This is you. This is who you guys are, okay? And it's almost like Divine is kind of nudging you in a way that's kind of like take off, like don't pretend to be someone else, but kind of like, you know, when sometimes you would see in movies royalty would dress up as commoners to go out into town and be treated like a normal person. It kind of feels like that. Like it's like you're the King of Wands and the King of Pentacles, but they're kind of saying put on this, but you have this personality that can be like the Page of Swords. Okay, somebody who can be talkative, intellectual, you can kind of like pick at someone's brain, and they're asking you to kind of like, I don't want to say embody this more, but it's almost like come across as the Page of Swords. Not to take off your crown or anything, but like while you're testing the room, come across as the Page of Swords. And like there's something about creating some kind of new connections. And on some level, it feels like if you guys came across as the King of Wands and King of Pentacles to this other person, it could be a little, I don't want to say, I don't know, something about it could be kind of abrasive for this person. But you coming in, just kind of like testing the waters with this other like intellectual energy that is part of your personality, feels like it could be the right approach. It could still be a little abrasive for this person, but it feels a little less intimidating than I think you just coming up as your fullest self, which is your true self. You're not hiding this at all. It's just kind of like you're bringing out another aspect of your personality more. And it feels like right now, yeah, they're saying like, do that. Like come across as this, almost like a king disguised as a commoner or like some upper class person. going into town and making new acquaintances and getting to know people and all of this stuff. That's kind of what it feels like. Like you're not 100%, yeah, like you're encountering people, but you're not revealing who you are, you know? And it's not that you're supposed to stay hidden. It's just something about it. It's kind of like a, yeah. Yeah. For some reason, it feels correlated to whoever this encounter is. Like I said, this is a very specific group. So, okay. But all of this has to do with a wish fulfillment. So this connection, whatever this Lover's card represents, like I said, majority of you, it feels like a person. Some of you could be an opportunity, whatever. But I do feel like it's a person for majority of you. It doesn't necessarily have to be someone that you're getting into a romantic interest with right away or anything like that, but there's some kind of a connection between you and this person. And it feels like this connection is like a wish fulfillment, okay? It's something that you guys have been hoping for, or you guys have been calling out to. It's like a companion, okay? Somebody who gets you. Somebody who who feels good energetically to be in their company with. Yeah. Yeah. But they're kind of giving off Queen of Pentacles, but also Queen of Swords. If we're doing counterpart stuff, since you guys are coming through as this a little bit more of a masculine cat and like the kings here, regardless of gender, of course. So this is coming through, like this person with being the feminine here, is coming through as like the Queen of, like they have the Queen of Wands and the Queen of Pentacles in them, which are like counter, that's what I'm saying, they're like a good counter match for you guys. But I feel like they wear the persona with certain strangers or certain kinds of energies of the Queen of Swords. So you guys can come up as the Page of Swords, where it's not so intimidating and they feel like they can kind of, I don't know. Yeah, something like that. Again, this doesn't seem to be a healing focus video. This is kind of just like, you guys are getting your rewards. But yes, so it feels like there's going to be some kind of a connection here, like communicate, like friendship and camaraderie. Okay. And it's not just this person, like this feels like a whole nother group. It's like, now's the time for you guys to just be kind of, again, it doesn't feel like it's going to be for long. Like it's not going to last for long, but try to focus November on connections, just connections. And like I said, there's some wish fulfillment that comes with that. And then Wonder Wheel, the Wheel of Fortune. This is also kind of like a possibilities, just possibilities. Okay. The possibilities. But yes. All right, let's get into your other cards. Oh my gosh, look at how well this works. Number 44, secrecy. Okay. There is some secrecy here. They're being kind of, yes, like there is some secrecy here. So this is kind of funny. Yes, there's some things you guys are not supposed to know too much of. You're just kind of supposed to follow this guidance if you can. And then 67, self-observance, Lyra. The self-observance feels like it's correlated with that Devil card where I was mentioning kind of like where you guys are finding pleasure from. I feel like this is something you've already thought about before, but it's like the things that used to bring you pleasure, they don't give you that same kind of satisfaction anymore, some of them. So it's just shifting and finding a new thing that will give you that same 100% level of pleasure that the other thing used to give you, okay? And this feels like things that could be more exciting and creative and stuff, and correlated to more of your personality, as opposed to like a pastime that you would do with people. This is more catered towards your personality. So think your interests, right? Not just like socializing as an interest by doing that at like a bar or a pub or a club or whatever, or some kind of like a Coachella-like thing, but more of like unique niche interests. So whether it was like the nerdy things, right, that I was mentioning, kind of like a Star Trek club, I don't know, or I'm going to use this example because I seem to always use an example of pottery, but like a pottery, maybe you've always wanted to try pottery, okay? Pottery class, I don't know. A watercoloring class, something like that you've always wanted to try, kind of, yeah, or that has piqued your interest, just kind of going for that more. But yes, okay. So we have, for final messages, Aphrodite, inner goddess, awaken the goddess within you through dance, self-care, and appreciating your divinity. And divine you guys are, let me tell you. Pele, divine passion. Did I not talk about all the passion, you guys? We talked about that, okay? Be honest with yourself. What is your heart's true desire? Yes. Okay. This is kind of like taking that sit back, asking like what is it that brings you pleasure and stuff, but also with your emotions. Oh yeah, we talked about that, right? We talked about this too. Like what would give you that emotional, what would meet your emotional needs, and kind of reassessing that now. And then finally, Ostara, fertility. It is the perfect time for you to start new projects, access new ideas, and give birth to new conditions. Okay, so this goes really well with all of the Six of Pentacles and like the blessing things that we were talking about. Also, I wanted to say on the bottom of the deck, we have the Star card for this one, okay? And also, we have the Five of Pentacles. And for me, this is such an indication of how far you guys have come. You have come from the Five of Pentacles. You've worked so much to get to where you are. You've done so much. It's like a startup, okay? You've come from, you started from scratch, okay? You've completely come from this place of not having to creating so much, okay, in your life. And you guys are the star. You guys are shining, okay? And then we also have the sun underneath here. And the sun is also a star. And it's, again, you guys are shining, okay? And you have sunrise. Yeah, it's like this is just, you guys are just shining. You guys have done so well. Such incredible work. You guys have come so far. So yes, even with these messages, with the inner goddess, this just feels like, again, awaken the goddess within you through dance, self-care, appreciating your divinity. This is just what I was talking about with the pleasure. Both of these kind of tied to that, but this is the pleasure card, you know? It's just doing the things that feel good to you and assessing maybe the thing that brought you pleasure before, if it's not 100% satiating, if it doesn't give you that same kind of pleasure. Like I'll give you an example. Say you used to, like, I'll use a personal example. I used to really, really love Harry Potter. Okay, like I would have multiple copies of the books. I would write fan fiction before I knew what fan fiction even was. I don't read fan fiction, but I would place myself in that world, okay, by like creating a character. And I had friends that I would do that with. And then I started designing what our wands would look like, and I would ask them and all of this stuff, what they would like. It was a whole, we created a whole world, okay, within the world of Harry Potter. We put ourselves as characters into Hogwarts, and we each would write like what a day would be like we would use our character names and whatever. It was a whole thing. It was very, wow, what a pleasant memory. It's not that I forgot about it, but I don't think about that often, you know. That was a nice time. That was a long time ago. But anyway, I was very drawn to Harry Potter, okay, because I felt like there was something there that helped me deal with the darker parts of my life. I didn't encounter it in the darkest parts of my life, but I think there was that fantasy, disassociation, and I found some kind of relation to it, okay? Like some kind of internal parallels. So I loved Harry Potter a lot, and the magic and all of this other stuff, okay? On some level, it was what I needed at the time, and I liked it for many years. And then after I'd worked on myself for quite a bit and all of this other stuff, I just found that I wasn't really drawn to Harry Potter anymore. Like people would look at me and be like, oh yeah, Milka loves Harry Potter, but that wasn't me anymore, okay? Like, so Harry Potter stuff would not get me excited. I let go of the books, you know, I gave them away. Even the movies, like I can rewatch the movies, but I don't feel called to rewatch the movies anymore. Like that chapter, that phase is done. I needed it, and it brought me a lot of joy and pleasure and you know, consolation. I don't know if that's the right word. But anyway, when I was going through that phase, right, when I needed it, but I've outgrown it. And now other things bring me that kind of joy and pleasure that don't have to do with fantasy books and those worlds, right? So I feel like it's kind of like that. Like I was using the club and bars and like drinking as an example because this person had wine, but it could be, you know, you would know what it is for yourself, because it's just not going to give you that same kind of pleasure anymore. So now it's time to find that new pleasure, whether it's coming through like those classes, or finding your people with like the nerd community, whatever it is, you know. And same thing with the passion. With this is tied with the emotional thing that I was talking about. What gets you excited? And it's tied with both, right? Because I said it's like it feels both, but what gets you excited, and then what are your emotional needs? Now is the time not to become too reflective, but to kind of consider these things. Like go through life and then think, is that something that feels good with me still? This way of doing things, or this way of someone communicating with me, or not? And fertility, this feels kind of self-explanatory. This feels like the gifts and blessings. Oh yeah, self-observance. Yeah, that actually goes with that, what I just said, self-observance, right? But yes, the fertility, it just feels like, again, it's like your blessings, everything that you've worked for. You're going to be kind of sitting amongst your crops, like I grew this garden, you know, and you're going to get a lot of extra fruit because you put in so much love and energy and effort, and you just have done so well. Okay. And yeah, I mentioned the ancient Egypt, but I also feel like with the Anubis ink, there is an air of mystery, and you have secrecy here around your reading, because there are some things that are kind of like, are going to be unexpected for you, that are going to come out of the blue, and you're going to know exactly what it is when you're meant to. Like you're going to know the significance of whatever these things that are coming out of the blue when you're meant to. Okay. So it's like, it may come out of the blue and you won't get it necessarily always right away, but then it clicks when you're supposed to be like, right, I asked for this thing too. It just came in different packaging, or I don't know, there's some kind of something there. Okay. But yes, that was your reading group 2. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, I would appreciate if you gave this video a thumbs up. And I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments. Is this your group? Like, I'd love to hear from you group 2 people, you know, who actually stuck through it and all of this stuff. Because like I said, I feel like it's a very particular group. So if this was a group that resonated for you, I would love to know, you know, I would just love to know. I'd appreciate it if you guys told me. Also, did you guys watch that future spouse reading? The 5th one that I was mentioning? If you happen to watch it, were you guys group 3? Or like, did you feel like you were group 3, or like you chose group 3 as your person? Like, I don't know. Is there some kind of correlation to that? Let me know. Okay. Also, if you guys do enjoy my content and you would like to be notified whenever I post another video, please feel free to subscribe. It's not necessary, but it does help the channel, and I am always very appreciative and grateful. And yeah, that was it, group 2. Thank you so much for being here, and I wish you guys a beautiful, wonderful rest of your day. I'm sending you guys so much love, so much light, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, group 2. Hey, group 3, this is your group. If you chose this lovely Jade Twisby Eco, or the Vinta Inks Kiss Slap Soda Light ink. Okay. Look how shiny you guys are. You guys are a star. Oh, speaking of stars, look at the bottom of the card right here. A stray cat, yes, but there's a star. Fascinating. Okay, I'm gonna set your stuff to the side. And for those of you who are new, and if you skipped, if you have skipped the intro of the video, just so you know, we're gonna be, singing bowl first, everybody. Okay, ringing the singing bowl for you. But yes, we're going to be taking a look at what you're currently experiencing, which is going to be like a little bit of an energy check. So if it resonates for you, then you know this is your group. And then we're going to be taking a look at what you have the opportunity to leave behind in the month of October. I was going to say November. Even when I was shuffling, I heard it in November. So I think there's a chance that whatever you guys have got to leave behind, or whatever that energy is going to be bleeding into November. I mean, we are basically at the end of October anyway when this video is coming out, so it's okay if it bleeds in a little bit, okay? And then we're going to be looking afterwards at your mental, emotional, and material world focuses in the month of November. And you see, even I was about to say October, and even when I was shuffling for that November portion, I wanted to say October, so I think this is something that's correlated. And then your healing focus, or what Divine would like you to focus on healing in the month of November, as well as final messages, okay? So let's get started. We have got the 3 of Pentacles, the 10 of Wands, the Wheel of Fortune, the 9 of Wands, the 2 of Wands. Sorry, I was itching to 4. Actually, I'm not sorry. I'm doing this thing where I'm gonna stop apologizing for things that do not require an apology. The 5 of Pentacles, and I would advise anyone else who over apologizes to do the same kind of thing, okay? There's no need to apologize for existing, for being, or for doing something that is just to you, okay? 6 of Wands, the 9 of Swords. Okay, we'll look into the other cards afterwards. Give me one moment. One momente, please. Group 3. I feel like you guys are a little tired, okay? And what I mean by that is kind of like you've been pushing or moving forward, or kind of trudging, and it feels like I could take a break. Like I could use a break. I could take a moment to sit on a rock and relax, but I'm so close. I just want to finish. That's the kind of vibe that I'm getting. Like, it's like, you're like, I'm going to keep working. Like, I just have to keep pushing through, you know. I'm kind of tired. It's not like severe exhaustion, but you guys are kind of tired. And you could use a break, or you're basically like, I'm so close. I'm so close that it doesn't make sense for me to stop. I just want to finish this and get it over with, and then I can take a break or relax. So this could be some kind of a work project. If you're in school, this could be like some kind of an assignment. It could be a personal project, you know, or something that you're creating, some kind of artwork, so anything along those lines, something to do with business. Like I said, any kind of correlation here. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's kind of the gist of what I'm getting. It's kind of like, well, I have to be the one. And it feels like this is something that you are taking a predominant role in. So even if it's in a group assignment, for example, and there's like no leader, it feels like you guys are the ones who are kind of pushing ahead of everybody else a little bit. So responsibility kind of falls on you. So it's like you guys are doing it if it's a group project. If it's not a group project, then like, yeah, I'm clearly seeing like you guys are kind of the ones handling it. You're the ones taking lead. You're the ones guiding. You're the ones taking action. You're the ones pushing forward. So it's kind of a little like, oh, I could use a break, but not at the same time. I don't know. It almost feels like this is something that like, this kind of thing drives you a little bit, whether you realize it or not. You guys kind of enjoy the push. You kind of enjoy the last minute, like, pushing and getting it done. And that's a message for someone. Okay. Anyway, now let's take a look. If this resonated for you, then this is your group. And if not, you can always check out one of the other groups if you feel so called, or you can try one of the other healing focused videos, okay? Again, they're timeless, even though there's like a month associated. Just use the month that applies if you feel guided to the reading, okay? Okay, now what you guys have the opportunity to leave behind in the month of November. I mean, October. You see, I did it again. I said November. I meant October. So we already know that this is something that is going to be kind of consuming October and November. But let's see. Okay, what I'm getting here is like whatever this project was that you guys were working on, it's like you guys can see the outcome. You can foresee the outcome. You can see the end goal, the end result. But again, it's like stress, or like there's some kind of like oh, I still have to do this, and oh my goodness, I still forgot this. So whatever this is, I don't think that you guys are going to be done quite yet by the end of October. I think it's going to be pushing into November. But I feel like one of the things they're going to be focusing on is how you guys enjoy having the control of handling things on your own. But could there be room or invitation for getting some help? Yeah, now I feel like I need to see the other cards. Okay, you guys had the quickest intro so far. Quickest intro. You guys are very to the point. Very like, okay, look, let's just get to what we need to get to, okay? I don't need the fluffy stuff. Give it to me straight. Okay. All right, let's look into the... I feel like you guys are going to be the shortest group yet. We'll see. We'll see. Okay. 4 of Intelligence. That's the 4 of Swords. Yeah, that's what I was saying. The rest. Okay, you guys needing some kind of rest. The Empress. Wow, look at that Empress card. So lovely. Loverly. Oh, wouldn't that be loverly? Where's that from? I think that's from My Fair Lady. I think. The Hierophant. The 6 of Swords. The Page of Cups. The 3 of Wands. So these are your mental and emotional focuses for the month of November. And this is your material world focuses in the month of November, okay? Now the next cards are going to be what Divine would like you to focus on healing. So we've got the World. 2 of Cups. We are the world. We are the children. 1 of Cups. Or Ace of Cups. The 3 of Swords. Yeah, learning to trust. The 3 of Coins. So that's 3 of Pentacles. And we'll come... Oh my gosh. Speaking of learning to trust. I mean, look at this. This is the... Whenever I see this... First of all, this is getting help from someone else, right? But whenever I see this... And you guys actually had the 3 of Pentacles before. But you guys were guiding before. Now this is getting help. And I know we are kind of skipping ahead. But this kind of makes me think of... Every time I see this, this makes me think of the Friends scene with Ross and Rachel and Chandler, I think. I think it's Rachel. I know Chandler's there for sure, but I'm pretty sure it's Rachel, not Joey, I think. And they're moving Ross's couch, and Ross goes, pivot, pivot. That's what, whenever I see this card, it makes me think of that. Okay, but give me a second. Let me see what I'm picking up here. Okay, I feel like in November, I am seeing, like we were talking about this project, like it could take a little longer. It could bleed into November with completion. Again, this is a general reading, so take it if it applies. It could be done by end of October, I guess, but I do feel like there is some kind of interlapping here. But I do see that mentally and emotionally, so it almost feels like you guys do need that rest, and I think you're going to try to relieve that by doing some like spiritual tidying up as opposed to actually taking too much of a break. You guys are giving off very boss vibes, okay? Boss lady, boss man, whichever it is. It's like there's this very boss vibe. And we saw that in the beginning too. Like there's a certain kind of a, like you guys are the ones pulling forward. You guys are the ones pushing for something. You guys are the ones heading the project. Very entrepreneurial, very kind of driven. There is an aspect of leadership. And I'm seeing that coming through here again. So, that's interesting. I kind of feel like I need to draw an extra card for you guys. Give me 1 second. Just gonna pull some kind of card at random. The Two of Wands. We saw the Two of Wands as something to leave behind in October as well. So remember, those things are going to be getting interwoven. So with the Two of Wands also being here, it's kind of yeah. So I definitely don't think that you guys are going to be giving yourself exactly the rest that you need, but I almost feel like somebody is saying, yeah, but I don't have time to get the rest that I need, so I'm just going to do this spiritual cleanup. I'm just going to do like a meditation, kind of revitalize, re-energize myself and keep pushing forward. But I guess the question I want to ask you, right? So it's good that you guys are moving forward, but are you being kind to yourself by pushing yourself so hard? By saying, I'm going to keep pushing, I'm going to keep pushing, I'll take a break when it's done. Is that very fair to you? You know, I would say consider that. With the Six of Swords, Page of Cups, and the Three of Wands. Even with like your healing, your healing and self-work, it kind of feels like you're taking everything on like a mission. Like an assignment. There's this, like it's being added to a checklist, okay? So it gives you a little bit more of a logical and air approach, but I feel like it's incredible, right? That you guys are so strong that you can keep on taking on to yourself. But maybe consider, are you being kind to yourself in the moment too? By just approaching this in such a logical manner. You know, healing is not a checklist. It's a life journey. It's our life encounters. And it kind of feels like there could be this message of slowing down a little bit. Not stopping, you know, and like making your journey end, but more of a, sometimes taking a break is the best way to propel yourself forward. And a break doesn't have to be a week long or anything like that, or even longer. It can just be giving yourself a day off to kind of resettle, and not just doing a meditation and being like, okay, I'm good. But like actually giving yourself a day off. Just be gentle, okay? Be kind to yourself. Go to a park. It's not an assignment. It's not a checklist. Just see what feels good to you. You know, you're so used to this kind of structure, or a structured approach when it comes to progress specifically. So try not thinking of it as being progress. Just think of it as, what can I do that feels good and right for me? What do I want? What does my inner child want? What does the inner me want or crave right now? What can I give to myself that would satisfy this feeling, this little me within me? Because this Page of Cups is making me think of the inner child. It's like the inner child is getting just a teensy bit neglected. Like you could say almost like, I'm doing this for my inner child. I'm doing this so that we can get the recognition we deserve, or I'm doing this so that we can get the life that we dream of, or whatever else it may be, right? But, you know, emotions when it comes to our inner child are something that can't be neglected, right? Because, for example, it's like having a parent, right? And maybe in some way you guys could be mimicking your parent, or maybe you were forced to become more mature because you had parents who were more childlike, so you guys are used to taking on this kind of like a provider or in charge kind of a role, right? Like taking control, taking charge. But it almost feels like it's like when the parent is trying to provide all of the material needs for the child, but because of that, like, they're never home. So the child's emotional needs, which could sometimes be considered more important at, you know, sometimes, don't get fulfilled. You get what I'm saying? Because the parent is absent, because they're trying to provide financially or materially. So it kind of feels like that is, like, sometimes you guys can get into a little bit of a slippery slope when you do that, when you approach everything as like a checklist item, especially when it comes to emotions, because emotions are not logical. They're just meant to be felt. They're meant to be let go of because they were felt, and then you can keep going, right? They're constantly changing, constantly evolving. And it's not something that you're supposed to put a cap on and control, okay? Just let it go, let it out. Feel it and let it out, release it. So that's kind of what's coming through here as well. Kind of accepting that it's a journey, not a goal. Like, it's the journey, not the destination, that's giving you a lot of the things that you need, okay? So if you only focus on getting the things that you need once you're at your destination, then you're denying yourself all the time that you're going there. And we spend more time getting somewhere than we do actually at the destination, right? So we spend more time reaching a goal than we do in that goal before we strive for the next goal. So only giving yourself the things that you need, the rest and like the emotional comforts and stuff after you reach your goals, means that the majority of your time is spent not having your needs met, okay? And then what Divine would like you to focus on healing, I believe there is a lot of focus again on emotion, because we have the World, we have Two of Cups, one of the Ace of Cups, okay? So it's a Cups card here. The Three of Swords and the Three of Coins. It's funny because you have the three. Wow, actually, this kind of works. So you have two threes. You have the Three of Swords, where this is someone who's used to getting hurt or was used to some kind of like a betrayal or like their needs not being met, and so they're saying, okay, I'm going to go ahead and meet my own needs. I'm going to do everything myself, okay? And now they're saying, well, now instead of you doing everything yourself, why don't you get help? Ask for help in areas that you can get help. Let somebody else help you. And I know some of you could be thinking, well, I don't have somebody else who can help me. But maybe there is a friend. Maybe there's a friend you can ask them for a suggestion if you're having a hard time. Or if your friend comes over, you can start with little things, you know, like, oh, could you please do this or do that or whatever. You don't have to have control of every situation, right? Because control, yes, it made you this boss kind of person, but life is not about being in control, right? When you're in control, sometimes you kind of fall out of flow state a little bit. So let people help you. This is you're coming into the phase in your life where you're letting people help you to help clear these wounds that you have to kind of do everything on your own. But in order for people to help you clear those wounds, and they're going to be clearing it by showing you that you can rely on others, you can get help from others. In order to do that, you kind of have to loosen up first on your own, okay? And the reason that I was so like, oh, wow, look at that, is because these are two threes, right? This three is the hurt, this three is the solution, okay? And then you have the World, which is 21, and look, 2 and 1, 21, it came out. And they're in the same element, so it's like they're together, so they created 21. So it's funny how that worked. It's incredible. It's kind of like the synchronicity here is almost like Source, Divine, God saying, we're just waiting for you guys to allow this to come through. Because the moment you say, okay, I'm ready to kind of let it in, it's like it's already lined up waiting for you through synchronicities. You just kind of have to be like, okay, I'm going to welcome it in. Okay, another thing, yeah, with the World, it's like allowing the world to help you. You realizing you're not navigating everything alone. It doesn't have to just be you against the world. Like, let the world help you. Like that song came through with the World card, right? We are the world, we are the children, or whatever. I don't know all the lyrics, but there's this aspect of unity. Even here, the Two of Cups, it's a partnership. Somebody else coming in to help you. And then with the Ace of Cups, it's like the emotions that we were talking about here. getting that emotional fulfillment, because it feels like you guys are so used to doing things on your own, and it's almost like that inner child was abandoned. They felt abandoned, and because they had to navigate everything on their own. And you guys are so used to doing it that way that you don't realize that you're still kind of hurting yourself emotionally by giving that emotional abandonment, emotional, like, you're gonna have to wait until we complete this goal, right? So now it's just about coming back to nurturing your emotions again and kind of giving yourself space and room to feel in the moment and all of that. Okay, and get some more pleasure, some more enjoyment in your life. If you need rest, get your rest now. Or if you can't do it now, then say, okay, I'm going to work another 3 hours and then I'm going to get some rest. And don't put your emotional things on a checklist. I mean, you can, but just be open to the fact that it's not always going to come out on a schedule, okay? Emotions are something that come out when they need to, not when you plan for them to, okay? All right, and the final messages are 83, common ground, hybrid. Belief systems, 53, earth. This is parallel, this is present. Oh, and you got an extra one, 38, Black League patterning, Orion, past. Okay, cool. Yeah, so you see parallel, present, and past, okay? So with these cards, it's just, whoa. Another synchronicity with numbers, you guys. 83, 38, okay? Look at that. It's mirroring. Just like these three, this is mirroring with the 3 and 3, the hurt 3 and the healing 3. This is mirroring with the full 21 and then the 21 broken up, okay, in the cup signs or in the water element, okay? Interesting. And then you have a parallel 83 and then the past 38, okay? And what's funny is 5 plus 3 is 8 as well. So like there's even connection with the 5, the 53 creates an 8. So you have 8s here, okay? Yes. So I feel like with that, the final message is definitely, when it comes to connecting with other people, find the common ground with them, okay? See, like, they may not be able to meet all of your immediate needs, but it's kind of like practice, you know? You wouldn't feel necessarily comfortable with them actually meeting your immediate, like giving up control for them to actually do that. You know what I mean? And I don't think it's the majority of you, but I'm hearing someone going like, well, they could try, like, well, I would love for someone to do this, but, you know, it's just they can never do it, you know? And for whoever is thinking that, just know that it's about the practice of letting somebody try. Whether or not they're capable of doing that, let it unfold naturally, you know? Don't cut them so short. Yeah, you could be right. Most of the time you probably are, but give people the benefit of the doubt. Give them a chance to help you, you know? Because this is something that is going to help you build trust in something other than your ability to keep pushing through, right? Trust in others, trust in the universe, trust in source. Because if you navigate everything like that on your own, then really it's kind of like you against the world. But let the world be for you. Let the universe help you. Surrender a little. It's okay. It's okay. It's a hard thing to do, I get it. But I know that you can do it. I know you are capable. You're very strong. You've overcome so much. This is just one other thing to add to your merit badges on your life Girl Scout, Boy Scout cookie thing. You know what I mean? Or, yeah, like it's just another badge, okay? To add to your collection. But at the same time, this is also something that's just going to shift your life for the better. And it can help bring in a more peaceful and happier, harmonious phase for you guys too, okay? So yeah, it's belief systems. Your belief systems are being challenged here. And it's because you are also repeating patterns. These are like ancestral patterns, okay? Karmic patterns. And you guys want your life to be different from what your family has encountered, which is why you're working so hard to build this. This is, again, this part feels like a split message, so take it if it resonates. But there are quite a few of you that are like, I don't want it to be like how my friend's situation turned out. I don't want it to be how my parents, my grandparents, I don't want to be in their situation. I want better for my life. I want different. And it's like you may be creating materially a different environment, but emotionally, it's kind of the same. So just be mindful of that, okay? And give to yourself in the now. You don't need to keep abandoning yourself, kind of like how you felt from the people who were supposed to be giving to you emotionally before, where you had to take responsibility, right? Now is the time for you to be able to go, okay, I'm going to give to me too, not just provide for me. I'm going to give to me emotionally, okay? And then your final cards are Hathor, oh my goodness, look at that. Receptivity, you guys, receptivity. This is literally what we were just talking about with like letting the world help you, letting people help you, okay? Allow yourself to receive. This will increase your intuition, energy, and the ability to give to others. Exactly. It's like you guys are just going into this, I'm going to just do my meditation, purifying, cleansing thing to clear myself. But really, something that will help you feel less tired because of all the tasks that you're doing is getting someone who can help you. Whether it's allowing the universe to help you or delegating a task if you can, or whatever else, having somebody give to you, giving to yourself, but also letting somebody else give to you too. That's where your healing is coming in, because then you're giving yourself permission to receive. You're giving yourself permission to receive an emotional need that you guys have been needing for quite some time. Okay? So give yourself permission to receive. Give yourself permission to get your needs met. Not just saying, I want my needs met, but actually allowing it to happen. That's a hard thing, you guys. I want you to know. It can be a hard thing to do, because then you're challenging all of the belief systems, all of the programming that has already been engraved in you to act and be a certain way, okay? So it's uprooting your life a little bit to be able to do that, to be able to allow yourself to receive. So don't be so hard on yourself if you can't just do it right away, because that's normal, that's natural. That's what I'm saying. Life is a journey. It's not about the day that you're actually able to receive, because that's, again, turning it into a goal orientation, into a checklist. It's about the journey of how you start to allow yourself to receive, because now that's looking at your life, not the destination, okay? Your life is the destination. And then the final card, and also I just want to say, with the Six of Swords, it kind of feels like this is you guys trying to navigate others and your life and how you think things should be going. And now it's kind of like the universe is saying, I want you to be this mama cat and this baby cat together, like you're helping your baby cat, and let others guide you on the boat. Let others kind of help shepherd the boat. It doesn't just have to be you, okay? Let someone else, so that you can kind of relax and be in a more pure, childlike state. Let someone else take control sometimes. Meaning it could be source, you know, all that stuff. Okay, and then we have abundantia, prosperity. The universe is pouring its abundance out to you. Be open to receiving. Look at that, you guys. Another card about receptivity. It's like the universe, the world, God is trying to give to you, trying to give a gift to you, okay? Support for you. Just be open to receive. Allow yourself to kind of surrender and come back into, because this is all, everything here, even though you have the Empress here, everything here is kind of a little masculine, regardless of gender, because it's like you guys are continuing to become the provider. But now they're saying come into a little bit more of a feminine energy, come into receptivity. Again, regardless of gender, we all have both feminine and masculine. Now is the time to kind of play into the feminine a little, into something fun, into receptivity. Be kind to yourself, creativity, okay? All right, group. Oh, also, I just wanted to say, you guys are a star. You guys are shiny, okay? That you guys chose one of the most shimmery, shiny inks. You're meant to have this kind of a spotlight. You're meant to be pioneering and all of this stuff. All the things that you're doing are part of your mission, part of your journey. You're meant to be doing them. It's just there's a way to do it that's kinder to you, okay? But you guys are special, and you guys are so beautiful too. I feel like because you chose the jade colored one, yeah, it's like you guys are very beautiful and graceful, and it's actually very nice to see you kind of in your feminine energy a little bit more. I feel like you guys were doing it and then you kind of took a break because you kind of got a little lost in the sauce, lost in the kind of taking control or taking lead. So come back a little bit to that femininity now, okay? All right, but yes, that was your reading, group 3. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, I would appreciate if you gave this video a thumbs up. Also, I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments down below. If it resonated for you, you know, all of that jazz. Are you guys ready? Are you guys ready to allow God to give to you? Are you ready for Source to give to you, for Divine to give to you, to receive? Why don't you claim that now? I am ready to receive. I am ready to receive all of the unconditional love, gifts, blessings, and miracles that are meant for me, and so much more. Thank you. Just put that in the comments. Thank you with an exclamation mark, like you're saying thank you to the universe, okay? Thank you to Source. Thank you to God, however you want to name it. Because gratitude is another thing that I think will be nice. It's like you guys need just a little bit of an emotional focus. So gratitude is a great emotional focus. It helps to kind of come back into positive emotions, okay? It's a little bit more fulfilling. But yes, so yes, that was your reading. And also, if you guys enjoyed this reading and you want to stay up to date whenever I post new videos, feel free to subscribe to the channel. You don't have to, but if you did, it would be very appreciated, as it does help support the channel. But yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in. All right, group 3, I'm wishing you guys so much love, so much light, and I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. I'm gonna see you guys next time. Bye, group 3. Hey, group 4, this is your group if you chose this lovely Eco Tea Twisby in the mint color, and it or the ink combo that I actually just made, mixing two things. So it's Colorverse Halo Ring, that's the blue, and then Wearing Gold Silver Shoes Glitter Potion, that's the shimmer. Okay, so this is the shimmer. Off the bat, I just wanted to say, while I was shuffling your cards, and also just the fact that you guys chose this, I was actually singing the questions the whole time I was shuffling your card. So I feel like for you guys, there's something about expression and your voice, okay, that is coming through. Also, something about this ink made me think of a little bit of like fantasy, or like the moon card. Like there's some, I don't want to say fantasy, it's not like lost in daydreams, but there is some kind of higher chakra pull, okay? Like it's making me think of like third eye chakra pull, like pulling in that direction. So something about vision. So it's interesting how you have vision and then expression. So it could be like, maybe it's time for you guys, for those of you who journal or who don't, maybe it's time for you to start journaling or writing about your vision, or what it is that you would like to accomplish, or what you want for your life, kind of like a scripting. Scripting is essentially your it's like written manifestation. You're like journaling as if you already have the things, or like as if you're already at the goal that you were looking to be at. And I just smelled something super lovely, like a lovely fragrance that I don't know how to describe, but it feels very nice. It's kind of like a perfume, but it's not too strong. It's nice. So there's kind of a gentleness, a softness to you guys that's kind of within you. But yes, okay. For those of you who are new to the channel or new to this kind of reading that I do, just know that we're going to be doing an energy check. That's going to be the top row, okay? And if it resonates for you, then you know this is your group. And if it does not, then maybe you have another group, or you could try another one of the healing focus videos from another month. I'm going to ring the singing bowl for you. Okay. Ring. Okay. And then we're going to be taking a look after the energy check at what you have the opportunity to leave behind in the month of October. And then in the second portion, we're going to see your mental and emotional as well as material world focuses in the month of November, and then what divine would like you to focus on healing in the month of November, as well as any additional final messages. Okay, so let's get started. We've got the 8 of Cups. You guys actually got a couple of extra cards. We have the 7 of Wands, the 6 of Wands, the 9 of Cups. Oh, 6, 7, 8, 9. Interesting. 3. The Hanged Man. Oh, the 3 of Wands. Sorry. The 3 of Wands, the Hanged Man. The Page of Pentacles, the Tower, and the Ace of Pentacles. And we're going to get into your other cards afterwards. Give me 1 second to see what I'm seeing. I feel like you guys have been unpacking a lot of baggage, a lot of old things that have kind of taken up space in your life before, and you're just like, I want to unpack it. I want to be free. I want to kind of be loose. I'm not going to let toxic things and toxic people control my life or come into my life anymore. I'm not going to let them take from me, take from my energy. I'm going to just be in a place of gratitude and divine bliss and kind of giving and pouring into myself now. That's the vibe I'm getting from you guys. Yeah, it's like I'm done being the scapegoat. I'm done being the odd one in the family and then turning into, or, you know, I'm saying family, could be friend group, whatever. Just the person in the room, the odd one out that people kind of can shift their blame onto. I'm done being the person that everyone kind of relies on. I'm done being the emotional support, okay? I need me too. And you guys are like walking away. So good on you guys. Applause, applause. I'm also seeing there's more gratification, and like it feels good to pick you. It feels good to choose you. And you guys are getting some kinds of synchronicities and signs that you're on the right track. Like some of you could be seeing numbers like 11, or numbers that add up to 11, like 38, 47, 83, 56, 65, so on and so forth. You know, could just be seeing 11, 11 as well. I'm seeing 12, 12, 13, 13. So it could just literally be like you're seeing duplicates of numbers. So numbers seem to be coming through for you as signs and synchronicities. Also, I feel like symbolism. There's some kind of symbolism. They're not giving me any exact examples, but for those of you who it applies to, I think it'll click with you. There's like symbolism that's coming through, and it feels like poetic, and that's another synchronicity for you guys. And yes, it feels like you guys are really defending yourselves here, and you're really like, I'm not going to let these toxic people take from me anymore. I'm not doing it. I'm done. I'm so done. Like I'm just getting this energy of like I'm completely done. I'm walking away from this. I've already let it go. Okay. But yes, now we're moving into, so if that resonates for you, then this is your group. Okay. Now let's take a look at what you have the opportunity to leave behind in the month of October. Okay, with these cards, I just heard, so it's so funny because there's so much music coming through for your group, but I just heard the waiting. Okay, the waiting. So Shrek, the musical, is a thing, and there's a song that Fiona sings where she's like talking about, I forget what it's called, but oh man, maybe give me 1 second. Let me Google it. I think it'll help. Shrek musical. I Know It's Today. Okay, that's the song. The song is called I Know It's Today. And it's like Fiona is essentially kind of manifesting, or she's like, someone is gonna come rescue me. Sorry guys. I'm not, I've been having this cough, not out of sickness. I don't know. Not because I have a cold or anything. I think it's like bronchial or something. Like it feels like it got triggered by colder weather or cooler weather or something. I don't know. It's like triggered by something, and I think I've just been talking a lot because I'm filming everything in one go. So like the whole reading in one go, I mean. Yeah, I think. So if you hear me coughing, that's kind of why. But yes, okay. So in the song, she's basically like waiting for her Prince Charming to come rescue her, and she's like, I know it's gonna happen soon. I know it. She's like, God, are you there? And so there's a scene where there's a part where she's literally like, I've been waiting here for so long, and then she's like, are you there, God? It's me, Fiona. And so at some point, she also was like ripping up pages in one of the books, the fairy tales that she kept reading, and she's like, I'm gonna rip this part out. You know, we're skipping this part, and the thing that we're skipping the most is the waiting, something like that. So that's what I heard when I saw this. I thought that was kind of funny. So what you guys have the opportunity to leave behind, it feels like well, since it's the waiting, I don't know what you guys are waiting for. It hasn't come through yet. There's almost like a looking though. It's like you guys are waiting for the right moment to move, the right moment to take action, the right moment to, I don't know. It's like you're waiting for some kind of right moment. You're like looking out, waiting for some kind of a sign to kick you forward or direct you or something, some kind of motion to create motion. Like you're stationary, looking for a sign to keep going. And it feels like with the Tower card, it feels like there's going to be a clear sign. But I don't think it's going to be the sign that you guys are looking for. Yeah. It's not anything that you guys have to worry about. I just think that the sign, you're looking for like a giant, gentle, kind sign. But this is going to be kind of like okay, come on, go now. You know, it's a little brisk, the vibe of it. So I think it's going to be like, oh, okay, I'm moving. Like, gosh, okay. You know, something along those lines. But I think it's because you guys are shifting into a place where you no longer need to look for signs. You're going to know it within you. So I think that's why this sign is going to be a little kind of like light, like, you know, a little like this Tower energy. Only because you're shifting from looking for a sign that's external to be able to just taking that action. So it's no longer a page. This is the Ace of Pentacles. This is you taking the initiative, not you kind of going, is it good now? You know? So, yes. Okay. Yeah, and now I keep hearing the waiting. Okay. So then we have the Three of Wisdom, which is the Three of Cups. The Eight of Intelligence, which is the Eight of Swords. The Page of Intelligence, the Page of Swords. The Nine of Pentacles. The Two of Cups. And the Nine of Wands. And then you guys also got an extra card here, which is the Six of Wands. Okay. And then, so this is the mental and emotional focus, and then the material world focus. Then we've got the Nine of Coins as the healing focus for the month of November from Divine. Six of Wands. Look, you guys got a lot of Six of Wands. Even when I was shuffling, I saw the Six of Wands peeking through in the Rider-Waite deck, so in the first portion. The Knight of Cups, the Queen of Wands, the Sun, and then we'll get to your final messages afterwards. Okay. Even the fact that I started coughing more during your group and like my throat chakra is like acting up, right? It's kind of like expression is a big thing with you guys. Something with the throat chakra and expression. I feel like now is the time for you guys to just continue to express yourself, express your boundaries, express your needs, express your wants, express your feelings, your emotions, your dreams, your goals. Talk about what you want in life. You know, now is the time to vocalize. It's not about internalizing anymore. Now it's the time, like there's that shift from internalizing, from that third eye focus to that throat chakra focus. It goes from daydreaming, from dreaming, from being in that higher realm to kind of creating through sound, through expression, through some kind of action. Sound in a way is action, okay? Expression is an action. So yeah. Okay, I feel like now you guys are going to be working on communicating after hearing this. You're going to be working on communicating and expressing your needs and wants and desires. Possibly the goal could be reaching out to friends, okay? Maybe you guys are not the person who takes initiative to make those calls, but maybe it's time for you to do so. Now it's time for you guys, again, for that expression, to take the initiative and express. Don't wait for an invitation. Like, we were talking about leaving that behind, right? It's like you're waiting for a sign, you're waiting for an invitation. But now it's about you guys taking that action. So take the action of just opening up the conversation, of some kind of expression, reaching out to your friend. And I feel like on some level you guys can get a little bit in your head because you're fighting the instinct or the habit or pattern of being stuck in your own thoughts and kind of doing it yourself, or kind of some kind of insecurity about being heard. Maybe you guys don't want to bother people. You don't want to burden them. Maybe the person is busy, you know, but that's up to the person to decide whether or not they want to make time for you. And if they don't make time for you ever, then is it a connection that's worth keeping, right? Since you guys are already getting rid of toxic connections, if there's someone that you want to keep in your life, but you're worried about burdening them or bothering them, then maybe you should go ahead and reach out just to see if you're actually burdening or bothering them. Because if you are, then that's another connection you can cut out, right? So especially if it's somebody that you want to keep in your life and you want to continue communicating with, reach out to them, you guys. Create that connection. I feel like that's part of your mission. That's part of your test right now, is creating that connection. Okay, it's actually reaching out. It's communicating, not just thinking or wishing that you could speak to someone, but actually going out and talking to them. Okay, and I'm sure that that person that you guys could be thinking about would actually want you guys to reach out. If there's some of you who are thinking about a specific friend when I'm talking about this, or a friend, like a relative or something, I feel for the most of you, they're actually going to want you guys to reach out, but they're giving you the opportunity to take that action step, to take that initiative and calling them or texting them or messaging them and saying, hey, can we meet up? Hey, can we talk? Whatever else it may be. So now it's going to be you guys coming out of your head and out of that old habit of thinking like, well, you know, I haven't heard from them in a while and all of this stuff. Just because you haven't heard from them doesn't mean that you can't reach out, right? So I feel like that's what you guys are going to be kind of working on now that you've heard it. The Page of Swords, yeah, that's kind of like taking the initiative, that baby step of communicating, that baby step of, I say baby step only because it's a page. That's the first one. That's the communication first one, right? So It's not actually a baby step, but it kind of feels like this is the young version of expression and communication and being the one reaching out, okay? And then as far as your material world, I feel like as you kind of do this stuff from your emotional world, there was this element of the Empress that I saw peeking out. So there is kind of like an element of, sorry, there is kind of like this element of, now I'm feeling good, right? So we saw you guys feeling good by choosing you and taking that action. This is just kind of that next step of choosing you, is allowing yourself to express yourself. You're choosing your you over your fears, right? So I feel like things are going to continue to feel good. It's like you guys are vibing with life, and I feel like you're creating connections and reconnecting to whoever this person is. Like there's somebody that you guys could be communicating with. Some of you guys, it could be romantic. Some of you, it could be a friend. It could be soul family, you know, or somebody that you have a soul connection with. But it just feels like, again, communication is key. It's not just about understanding each other, just like understanding each other energetically, which I feel like some of you guys could be like, that's just what I want. I want someone to just get me. But you guys get the gift in this lifetime to be able to communicate and express your thoughts and feelings too. And that's one of the things that's coming through here. But there is, again, this friendship, this camaraderie, this some kind of companionship, some kind of other person outside of yourself that can help you to feel like, yay, I have at least one good person in my life that I don't have to kind of, like, whenever I'm pioneering in my own life and taking that first step and taking the initiative, I know that I have somebody I can talk to. Whereas before, the people that you tried to talk to, that you have started separating yourself and distancing yourself from, they couldn't handle that high vibrational kind of energy that you were giving off from all of that self-work, you know? And so communicating with them didn't feel fulfilling. It just felt like, well, I don't want to share, because you guys find a way to make it negative. But now you actually have people in your life who want to hear from you, who want you guys to share, to communicate, and they're cheering for you, they're rooting for you, okay? So I feel like you are now entering a phase where it's like, it feels good, life feels good, okay? It doesn't mean everything is already set up for you exactly how you want it to be in the end goal, but life is a journey, right? And I think you guys kind of accept that it's a journey, not just the destination that counts. But yeah, it's I feel like there's a sense of victory, a sense of accomplishment, because you guys are going to communicate more and take that initiative. And I feel like you guys are going to be very proud of yourselves. Okay, you guys have done a lot of inner work, a lot of working on your inner child and healing and expression, and now is the time to kind of put that into action a little more so, okay? You guys have done a lot though. Good job, group 4. Good job. You guys have done very good, okay? Very good. I hope that you guys are proud of yourself, and I'm grateful for you guys coming in and tuning in here and receiving this message and being ready to be, you know, open to do the next thing for you, the next good thing for you. You guys are doing great, okay? And then what Divine would like you to focus on in the month of October. So funnily, in the month of November, but I guess it could be trickling in from October. Funnily enough, you actually have the 9 of Pentacles twice. So again, you guys are really good. Oh, and the 6 of Wands twice, right? You guys are really good at doing the work. So what Divine wants you to focus on healing. This is just Divine saying, we want you to focus on just, you guys are already doing it. It's that self-care, okay? It's doing what feels good to you. It's getting excited. It's being in high vibrations and high spirits. It's doing fun things, taking yourself out on a date, you know, going on a little adventure, going on a hike. But if like doing things like going on a hike in somewhere new, something fun. Again, it doesn't feel like a healing focus in the sense that like this is something you need to clear in your life. It feels more of like a reminder of, this is what we want you to focus on, because this is what's giving you that healing. This is all of the accomplishments that you've got from all of the healing that you're doing, is living in a place of joy and positivity and happiness and self-care. If you started for like a second feeling a little bit in the rut, just remember, hey, life is great, okay? And turn into that self-care, turn to whether you're doing a face mask, whether you're getting a manicure, pedicure, whether you're going to get a trim, a haircut, you know, whatever that version of self-care is, where it's like you're getting treated. Maybe you go to get a massage. This feels not so much like spending money, as like it's not focused on spending money on getting yourself material things, as it is getting service for your body. So like I said, it could be like the massage, skincare, whatever else, haircut, something like that, like self-care like that, like giving your body what it needs, or a nice home-cooked meal that's really clean and healthy but super delicious. You know what I mean? I mean, healthy food can be delicious, but I just mean like it could be mimicking a decadent food that you guys really enjoy, but you made a healthy version and your inner child is singing with happiness. Okay, with that, maybe you guys should try singing more, because there's so much emphasis on expression. Even if you feel like you don't have a good voice, that's not the point. The point is to sing. And I feel like everyone can have a good voice. You just have to kind of allow it to happen and you know, practice and all of that stuff. But that's besides the point, right? It's not about what you actually sound like. It's about you just going out and doing it. Don't just sing in your head or sing quietly along. Like, belt it out, really sing it out, let it out, express yourself. Literally, if you guys drive, maybe while you're driving, you can keep the windows up, but like while you're driving, in a safe way, of course, you can just yell like, woohoo, like literally just like scream out of excitement, out of happiness, just to use your voice, okay? Yeah, it's like celebration. The Six of Wands is making me think of a celebration, cheering. Again, the Knight of Cups, it's kind of like taking yourself on, there is this expression of your emotions, you know, and taking yourself on this little, like a little date, or to do fun things, okay? Yeah. And the Queen of Wands, the Sun. Yeah, there's so much positivity here. So it's really, the emphasis here is kind of like focus on that positivity. Just focus on that joy. Focus on the beauty of life and being in the present moment, and just how beautiful the flowers are around you, or the nature is around you, or the air quality is good today, the water tasted sweet, you know, whatever it is, that's kind of the focus here, okay? And then for your final cards, we have 68, Generosity with Lyra Future, okay? 15, Courageousness, Lyra Present, interesting. You have 2 Lyras. 36, Delusion of Control, Orion Past, okay. Wow, interestingly, you go from future, present to past. Okay, so I would say the delusion of control goes very much with the 8 of Swords, where it's kind of like you're worrying about other people's, like, it doesn't happen constantly. I feel like you guys know, this is not the case, but sometimes it creeps up, right? This way of thinking from the past, where you think, well, I don't want to burden them, I don't want to be a trouble, you know, they've got so much going on in their life, you know, all the stuff, they haven't called me in some time or reached out to me in some time, so it could be that yada yada yada, right? That's what delusion of control is kind of making me think of. It's this 8 of Swords card. Whereas courageousness and generosity, courageousness is making me think of like you guys taking that leap and just calling your friend, reaching out, whatever it is, friend, relative, whoever this person is, okay? A romantic partner, the person that, or people, right? The people that you want to keep in your life, that you're kind of protecting them from being from you burdening them. But that's not the case. If they care about you and they're truly worth being in your life, that's not considered a burden, especially if you just want to talk and share with them too, you know what I mean? So have that courage and be generous in your thoughts. And, you know, on some level, it could be considered a little bit, okay? Like you're thinking less of them. You know? Like you're viewing them in a light where they would think of you as a burden. That's not very kind to them. That's not giving them too much credit, right? You're not even giving them a chance to kind of prove you wrong. So generosity is kind of making me think of that. It's like, be kind to yourself by allowing yourself to express and taking that action to be able to have your voice heard, but also kind of open up to the idea that this person is not like that, right? Otherwise, why would you want to keep them in your life? Okay, and then the final messages, we have Diana, focused intention. Keep your unwavering thoughts, feelings, and actions focused on your target, and you will make your mark. This is making me think of the positivity. They're kind of like telling you, keep focusing on the positivity. And then we have Cordelia with go outside. You have been indoors too long. Go outside and get some fresh air. We actually, it's funny that this is coming through because we actually mentioned that, right? We were talking about like going out to the park, taking yourself out, going out on a date, something like on a date with yourself. You know what I mean? We kind of mentioned the outdoors here too, like look at the air feels nice, whatever. So I feel like this message is literally literal. It's like getting outside of your head and getting outside of your home, kind of just going out and treating yourself, going to take care of yourself, giving yourself special experiences. Okay? All right, group 4, that was your reading. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, I would appreciate if you gave this video a thumbs up. I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments down below. How are you guys doing? Okay? Are you ready to take your action step? Are you ready to give people the benefit of the doubt and see if they're actually going to listen to you, as opposed to like this preconceived notion from the past that could have thought, well, why would they, or I don't want to bother them, or whatever, right? You don't want to think less of them. Why would they be they're not like, if that person means so much to you, why would they be considered a little, I don't want to use the word shallow, but whatever the word would be that would think, like, so are they so self-conceited that like you talking about your feelings would be considered a burden to them? You know what I mean? I don't think that's the case. So are you guys ready to take that step of communicating? Also, if you guys are interested in seeing my other content, feel free to check out my channel. But if you're interested in seeing when I post new content, I would appreciate if you subscribe to the channel, as it does help the channel out. So thank you guys. For those of you who are already subscribed, I'm super, super grateful for your support, and you're continuing to be here even through my long absence. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you guys so much, okay? All right, group 4. I'm wishing you guys the most beautiful rest of your day. I'm sending you guys so much love, so much light, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye, group 4.